Hello. Let me unmute Skype. One sec.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, Swain.
Oh, hi, I can hear you. Here, let me, link time. There you go. That's the latest build.
There you go. So there's a bit of a delay there when the stream started, but should be all good. 720p
okay. Yeah,
stream.
it's playing on my end.
Look at all these viewers.
It's 27 people. Oh my god. That was a bit underwhelming, but we'll see.
Sweet. Okay, latest build is up to you, Sean. I guess we're live now. That's awesome.
We are.
We're live?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it muted. It's pretty much like business as usual, right, Sean? We're doing this just like it's the Twitch, except we've switched to YouTube for testing, right?
We certainly have. So, oh yeah, while some people are tuning in, so to speak, a lot of people are probably new to the stream, so I think it's probably best just to throw out some information for those that are still here. This is the Project X2 podcast. We do podcasts on updates for the game, or news, all that kind of jazz about... We try to do it once a month. We try.
Yeah, your use of the word "try" is very
like
similar to
ago, but, you know.
It's similar to our "we're trying to get the alpha out every month," right?
Yeah.
Of course.
What was I saying? Yeah, so for those that are thinking, I can hear my voice echoing there.
Sorry, I'm making sure my microphone is pointing away. That's probably something to do with me.
Yeah. Yeah. So those.
I'm not used to you keeping your voice up, Sean.
I know.
You're not stuttering or mumbling. You've
74
got
people.
confidence today.
I know. I'm just pumped for this alpha, man. So yeah, people wondering where to get information. You can see all the links at the top of the video there. We've got the Facebook page, Twitter, the website, which we're still going to update soon because I know you've been working on that. And then we have this podcast here. Make sure you subscribe because we can get updates for when we go live. So it'll be a lot easier. You don't have to keep grabbing info from other websites to find out when we're streaming. What other sources? Tumblr as
Newborn
well.
puppies and a river about 3 blocks away. And I'm willing to do what it takes to get your subscription on this channel.
Don't make me kill him.
Right, don't make me feel like
We're
I have
almost
no
at
shame.
2,000, I think.
Are you willing to finish the alpha? That's the question.
1,867.
Oh, are you sick, sir? Have you gone mad? I draw the line at drowning puppies, okay? But fulfilling my Kickstarter obligation, I think not. You disgust me.
Places on the internet for that kind of...
Yeah, exactly. Right, go back to 4chan. Go back to your CP channels.
So, before we get into the build, actually, have I even extracted the latest one? Oh yeah, I need to do that. Swain, why don't you... Oh, crap. I deleted the shortcut. No.
Which one of us is Swain? Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, you do that.
Okay. So hello to all the first-timers out there. The guy you just heard talking, our host, is Sean.
Hello.
Sean C. Glover here is our good old buddy. Here's our number one number man, our big boy,
I was
our
the
top
number
dog.
one backer. That's my
Yeah, he's our
pledge.
number one top backer guy, and by that I mean Sean has been taking care of these podcasts for us for the last year and a half since we started doing these things.
Right,
so
right.
he's been our PR guy, our man on the ground while we're up in our little tower, coding away and arting away. I'm Swain. I am the programmer for Project Nexus 2. For all you new guys here, that squeaking is my dog Winnie. She is the number one bitch, so I'm going to take that squeak toy away from her. And I also have Matt in the room with me. AKA
Hello,
Krinkels.
guys.
So-
It's me, Matt.
That's Matt, the guy you know as Krinkels, creator of Madness, and the complete art department for this game. Also in the stream today, we've got DJ Lochner, aka Devin. Devin is doing right now the majority of the music in the game and all the SFX until we get Cheshire a little bit more integrated. Devin, why don't you say hi for us?
Hello.
That was Devin. If you hear that voice,
Yes.
though, it was
Perfect.
talking.
It was
So
me.
We have all 4 aspects of the game are in the stream today. We got the coding, we got the art, we got the PR, and we got the music. So yeah, we're ready to do some build stuff and also to take some questions. So Sean, do you have anything to say before I explain what this build is? Anything at all?
Oh crap! trying to move this new build onto the thing and I'm ruining everything. There we go. I don't think so, no.
Okay.
I don't know. You go ahead.
So first off, I suppose I know Sean's already through here. I guess, so Sean is in the main menu. Those of you guys who have seen the podcast before, joined us for one, would recognize this. Not much has changed on the main menu. We'll play with it, make it a little bit more recognizable to the new assets that we have and have been building over the last 2 years.
Right.
At some point, but for right now, it's recognizable, so we're sticking with it. We keep calling it Alpha Sampler on that menu, but I think we'll just call it Alpha straight up, because the product that we have now doesn't really feel like a pre-alpha anymore. We were very nervous about the quality of what you guys were going to be playing, so we've been calling it pre-alpha because we lacked the conviction to just straight up call it alpha.
Right, exactly.
And the difference is negligible. It's really just the level of quality of what we're putting out. So, Sean, I keep saying, does it fade in and out on the screen when you resize it? That what's happening?
Yeah, I think he's trying to go full screen or something.
No, I'm just dragging the window, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just dragging the window. And it
so
stops everything and continues.
Yeah, if you haven't started a new guy, and I'm pretty sure you have, but we'll take people through the process and explain as though this is the very first time, like Madonna says. We'll try to go through the whole process of creating a character, leveling him up, and showing people where we are with that, so they can understand what it is that we're still testing before we actually have a download link for them, or a key for people who have backed. Remember, to anybody who's looking to pre-order, you can go to projectnexus2.com, and we are honoring anybody who backs us via PayPal. There's a link on there as well, and we'll provide it in the. Maybe we'll add something in the comments or the description of the YouTube.
Yeah. We'll put I'll edit this in the description when the non-live version goes up.
Right. No rush on that, of course. But just to clarify, the game did start as a Kickstarter project. We obviously succeeded, managed to get our funding goal just around what we were looking for and what we needed to develop, and we're just about there. And everybody who backed us on Kickstarter is getting a link first. Yes. Along with those people who have backed at a level on PayPal from the website, and again, we'll give you the link to that. That gives them access to the alpha. Anybody who backed on Kickstarter, y'all get everything. You get every single thing that we put out. If it's a beta, if it's an alpha, for whatever game mode, you're gonna get.
If it's out, you get it.
Right, exactly. And thanks for being there right at the beginning. Everybody else on PayPal, we haven't forgotten you either, and you buy into the different stages that you would like to. You get different stuff than the Kickstarter because it's a different system. But we're just about at the point where we can start to honor all those pledges and all those backings that we've gotten over the last 2 years of time. So that basically leaves us with what we're calling the alpha. Now, the alpha is a sample right now of arena mode. It's not the story mode yet, and it's not Zed Survival yet. And I've mentioned this on the Kickstarter, talked about it on forum posts once a year. I go into our forums on the website. And I'm not a great person, I guess, and and on Tumblr and Twitter as well, and Facebook, we'll talk about this sometimes. But this build that you're going to see is basically just about ready. You can see I put a little apply button in there, Sean.
Right.
I like that, yeah.
You can mess with it; it won't do anything right now. I was testing that today, and for some reason I don't have option saving, so feel free to set it to the quality and whatnot that you need. But
so wait, when you say saving, does that mean when you close the app and reopen it, or?
That's what apply is supposed to be, is that it's supposed to save those settings, but right now that's not working. I just didn't finish it. It's almost there.
Right.
I need like 10 minutes to figure out why the save data is not loading.
So then if I change it in here, will it apply to the game or not?
You don't have to hit apply. As soon as you move those sliders, those settings are good.
Oh, okay.
The apply button is more to save the data forever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Right now, that is not working. So it won't persist between sessions, but your data will stay the same for now. But next time you come in, if you want more bodies, you're going to have to put all that stuff up. Also, the number of bodies, the default is 8. I think you have it set to like 300 or something right now.
It's gonna, yeah.
Which is fine by me. I can't
well,
wait.
waves don't even spawn that many bodies yet, so 300 bodies.
You won't be able to see some of the cool stuff in the game. Like Devin put some new tracks in for when you complete a mission, and you guys will see this soon. When you complete a mission on that wave end thing, or mission end, the music will a different track will play for victory or failure. And obviously, we don't do music typically in the stream because you won't be able to hear us.
Don't want to compete.
So Sean, you understand the levels of volume, so you can play with that as you want. But Anywho, so what I was getting at is that what we've talked about on the Tumblr, the Twitter, the Facebook, I like adding the to the front of all these because it makes me sound like the old man I am. We've mentioned that it hasn't taken us 2 years to build an alpha for the arena mode. It's taken us 2 years to build the alpha for the game engine. Arena mode itself is virtually done. Matt just needs to put together a couple more stages, and we anticipate that all of arena mode will probably take 3 months to finish from the time we release the alpha. At least by finish, I mean get it to beta. There's almost no time at all required for that. And then story mode would be another 3 to 6 months there, where we design a couple more features that just aren't in the game yet. But for the most part, the game engine, that is to say the core combat is done, it just needs to be balanced. And that's where we are right now. We're going to do some core balancing over this next week. Bug fixing, I still have plenty of bugs to talk about. I'll list some of them out for you guys today so you understand we're not just making this stuff up. And then I'm going to put together a Google document and make it public so that anybody can see where we are right now and how much is left before we get to that alpha. Because we can't release it buggy. We can release it unbalanced, but we can't release it buggy. Because if your game is broken, then what's the point in testing it? Especially if we already know about those bugs. So that's all we're working on right now. Oh, hey, Bill's in the feed. Hello, Bill.
Oh,
hey,
yeah, he said he was going to be in.
Yeah, we gotta. I'm hoping maybe we can show off a T-shirt idea. We've been playing around with T-shirt ideas recently.
Yeah.
But so anyway, yeah. So we're gonna take you through a lot of the engine we've been building. We're gonna be explaining all 150 skills. There's about 140 that are active right now. 10 more require a couple of revamps before we can get to it. But there's before we can call it complete.
Yep.
The dog is scratching to get in. I'm gonna give her a knuckle sandwich.
Should we go into the character design?
Yeah, sure. That's a great idea.
Straight into arena.
Yeah, so you see here you have your main menu. Sean's going to click into arena combat, and there's a delay between, I think. Actually, everybody hears us at the same time as what's happening on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
Well,
good.
if you're watching YouTube, then it's going to be a bit delayed, but...
No, that's awesome then. So we will be delayed about what we see on the screen.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So we'll be talking about things that just happened, and it won't make much sense. But you guys will at least be hearing it correctly. So yeah, you can load your characters. You can see all your old guys. Technically, the data is still exists, but they just aren't accessible anymore. You can see I also finally fixed that freaking caret for the cursor for typing. It now actually goes where it's supposed to. This is a problem with Unity, and everybody's been suffering from it. So I finally tried to fix that. So. At this point in the game, so who's knocking at the door? Matt's gonna go take care of it.
Is Matt your butler now?
No, it's more just like I talk at stream of consciousness and can't stop to breathe. So Matt can actually go and check the door. I, on the other hand, am still in the middle of a 30-minute long sentence.
Right. Swain,
Yeah.
what are these origin options here?
Okay, so what you guys are seeing here, origins are not complete, but we still want you guys to have the option. Anybody?
Canvassing.
Panhandling, or canvassing. We live in the city. We get this sometimes. All right, so the dog is back in. Down. Here, I'm gonna send her out. Come here, Winnie. Dog needs to go outside. She's obnoxious and needy, and still a puppy. So. Anyhow, origins, guys. Sorry, real life just happened.
Right.
So
Origins are really just starting equipment at this point.
Yeah, right now they don't serve a function except for the little thing that you see under your name and also the equipment that you start with, just kind of to give you some personality. We're thinking that every origin will have maybe like a unique piece of equipment that you maybe can get as another character later in game.
We're thinking also not unlike Oregon Trail, where it establishes a little change in your starting cash or starting experience.
Yeah, think of it as like. Okay, so you pick a class in D&D. Sure, you can build up your character any way you want to with enough work, but ultimately the way you start, you're going to have unique qualities to your character that don't ever change. We will have ways of respecting characters to pick new origins. Origins will unlock as you go, but for the most part, origins serve the purpose of giving you slight stat boosts and penalties, so you can kind of customize your guy to be faster but weaker, or that sort of thing. Maybe he's immune to fire damage, but he can never use guns or something. I don't know.
Right.
Stuff like that. Like there'll be little quirks.
More extreme than others.
Right. Yeah. And other than that, everybody can build up their skill trees as much as they want, but that'll give you like a little bit of a specialization boost in the direction you're looking for. And again, on top of that, you'll get a cool little title at the bottom of your name, which is really the reason you do it, right?
Outlaw.
Yeah.
Come on, that's cool.
Yeah. And the second reason, other than the stats, is really to get a. Oh, Sean is popping into the game.
That's
so you start off.
that's when.
I'll talk over it, but this for right now. You jump right into the headquarters. Eventually, we're going to put together a tutorial. The tutorial is not finished yet. We have the stage. I just need to finish the cutscene code to make that work. And then you'll have a better explanation of how to play before you get in. Right now, it just dumps you into the game for those of you who see it. But anyway, Origins also will offer a little bit of story modification to Arena. Events will take place. The dog is like crying outside. What is with her?
She'll get over it.
Yeah, she will. I'll laugh it off. Do you like the press E thing and all that stuff on there?
Yeah,
yeah. The quartermaster and the pilot now highlight as well. I don't know if you noticed that. But
I noticed on the
can't hire.
pilot because I spawned in there in the last build.
Entirely too expensive.
And a quartermaster doesn't.
Henchmen, the hirelings are not completely finished right now. They're in there for testing. We're going to leave them in, but just we'll give you guys like a sort of information pamphlet, some digital thing that you guys can access to sort of see what's intended to work, what's not, and all that. But yeah, long story short, Arena mode will have levels of story. It will tell its own story, but it is not story mode. And during the course of the game, you'll open up stages that kind of explain a story that's going on, and your origin will have some influence over that, like how people will react to you, as well as some like key missions that kind of tie you into the story based on your origin. And we're hoping that the point of this, it won't be dependent on it. The game mode won't be dependent on it, but it will hopefully give a kind of like feeling of integration. It'll make your character feel more like he belongs in the story instead of just being plopped in someone else's story, like a Elder Scrolls game where all the stuff is happening around you, but really it's like it didn't matter what character you built, you were going to get the same quests anyway, or what. So Sean is in the quartermaster store right now. Do you see the replenish stock button there, Sean?
Yeah, I saw that. So that's what,
Yeah.
every 10 minutes, half hour, was it?
10 minutes.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
it's kind of like the Borderlands approach, except that when the timer is up, it doesn't force the respawn in case there were items that you were like looking forward to buying. So it doesn't like force you to just get rid of that crap. So that way you're like, oh crap, I need to go do this mission and get that sword, but
Yeah, what good is it if you come back and
it's gone, yeah. So instead, we just give you the option to just replenish when you want to. And we might actually stack the number of times you're allowed to do it depending on like how many missions you've beaten or something. Like every stage you beat, maybe that forces the replenish. And then you can stack like 2 or 3 of them, so you can just like cycle through a bunch of them. For right now, we're just testing one. So yeah, Sean's testing out the tooltips on the character's profile. I also need to make it so the corpus you start with is based on your core levels. So we'll go through all the different categories and we'll kind of explain what's going on. But for the most part, Devin, do you see the goofy run? Do you like it a little bit better? We fixed it up.
I still hate it, but it's okay.
You're allowed to. But it's not as goofy as it was. It's more just kind of like a wild hand swing. We kind of toned it down. Also, there was a glitch in the animation that we messed with one little thing, and it's working better now.
significantly.
So, does anybody in that room recognize the tree in the sun?
I love it.
I don't know if you can hear the audio, but actually, let me.
I love how it's
You
just like a
should just be
cardboard
able to
cutout
hear it.
of a tree. It's not a tree, it's a cardboard cutout of a tree.
Yeah.
Why? Who cares?
Because we can't plant a tree indoors. That's bad.
Those are of course the original tree and sun from the original Madness Combat tune. So yeah, we've got the headquarters is looking better than ever. I think I'm really proud of how far it's come.
So, Swain,
Better than before.
Yeah.
I'm in
What's up?
Arena. How do I play the game from Arena? How do I fight dudes?
Is it not working?
Tell me, Swain. Give us a tutorial.
Oh, you actually want to know the controls, eh?
Yeah, he's feeding you questions.
Okay, feed me questions. I need questions to live. Okay, so the way that the way this will work. What's that, Devin?
No, somebody just said he runs like he's suffering from constipation and diarrhea at the same time.
That's because he's keeping a spare gun up his butthole.
Right.
Remember, I will explain that arena mode is completely skill based. I mean, obviously, there's personal skill. What you do in the game. This isn't an RTS. Your character doesn't do just what his skills can do, and all you have to do is just click attack until something happens, and then get experience and do it again. This is not World of Warcraft. There's a game in here. Also, I know it is World of Warcraft, not Worlds. I don't know. I give it too much credit. So it's barely a world, and I've just alienated all of our viewers. So goodbye, fans. So the game is very skill based, and what that means is that you have, I mentioned, over 150 skills that you can purchase, and every time you buy a skill, skills give you something that you can now do that you could not do before. It basically changes your rules. Sean is kind of showing them off now.
It's slightly laggy because of how many skills there are.
Yeah, exactly right.
Cram-packed
We have so
of
many skills
excitement.
in the game. Yeah, it's actually a problem with how many vectors a canvas in Unity can display. So I need to also the skills that don't work. You can see I've marked them. I'm sure there are other ones I've forgotten, but we'll get to that. So I just need to do something to kind of like maybe create pages of them or auto filter them or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or just turn them off if they're not visible. I'll come up with something. But anyway, when you buy a skill, you can now do something that you couldn't do before. Skills are based out of 4 different categories. There would be professions and proficiencies, but we'll get into that some other time. For right now, acrobatics, ranged, melee, and unarmed are your core skills. And you will be able to purchase your way through a tree, and everybody's familiar with skill trees, that allow you to become more powerful. And every time you buy a skill, you also upgrade your attributes. It's 4 attributes: strength, endurance, dexterity, and tactics, not necessarily in that order. Every time you buy a skill from a category, acrobatics or whatever, each one of those has 2 different attributes you can buy up. And Sean will show you, you'll get the hang of it, it's very easy. And attributes allow you to do the things that you do better than you could do before. Things like punch harder, run faster, better recoil, cooldown, and all that kind of fun stuff. Hey, the icon works, that's great. The icon for the training room.
I was just thrilled about that.
Yeah. So why don't you play Training Room 1 instead of 2 to start with?
1 for sure.
Sean has gone into the... yeah, we can see all the different icons and stuff. Yeah, Training Room. Sean is in the... right now he's in the... What are we calling this? The battlements?
Yeah,
that's just the name of the... Yeah. And of course, this is where the helicopter is. In the game, you'll be able to upgrade the helicopter, or the helicopter will upgrade as you get different tiers that allow you to do different missions. The pilot is always extremely happy to take you to die wherever you want to go die, and then you can go do missions. So Sean has just gone into the training room. Remember, my feed is delayed from what I'm seeing and what I'm talking about. When the timer's up, it'll spawn waves of guys, and you guys are seeing for the first time the training room, which is the very first mission as they kind of like... As the story goes in this game, you're a new character, you're new to this facility, and your employers have sent you here to basically kind of show that you're not really a pushover. So you're fighting these like VR...
like hard light kind of things.
Yeah, like simulations. And so Sean is fighting... You'll notice his character fights like a goon. His character is almost completely crap. And as he beats these guys up and they disappear, if he gets smacked down, then he will die just almost as quickly as they do. Not as quickly. He's got better health. Oh yeah. Until you buy the skill to we're about to see it on our end. Until you buy the skill to oh yeah, you're gonna get dizzied, aren't you? Yeah. Until you buy the skill to resist that, that's an unarmed skill. Every time you get hit, you will like kind of go into a wincing stun animation, and that is one of many different things that you can buy so that no longer happens. Wow, our delay is like 30 seconds.
That was pretty close to 20, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I apologize if we're talking about things that have already happened, but we're kind of responding to things as we see them, because we're watching the stream just like you guys. But you're watching it 30 seconds later. We're actually watching it 30 seconds later and talking about what just happened.
I just beat it, so that's the time of delay.
Okay, cool. Thanks for those heads up will actually help. Thank you, John. So Sean had defeated a couple of level of difficulties of guys, and after basically these like simulated training room guys are defeated, it takes them into the mission complete area where you'd be hearing cool music if audio was on. It gives you a breakdown of everything. You'll also see the kill count is in, right? Like it shows you how many guys are left until the end of the wave.
It's not, you gotta know how many people died.
Yeah, I think it's insanely helpful, especially in later stages where the game is broken and guys are just like wandering around looking for you. And you're like, all right, so who do I have to kill? How many guys are left?
Right.
So yeah, gives you the stats of the waves, how much cash you got, XP, the XP in which you got it from, because I obviously used an armed for all of that, so I just got an armed.
I think you can get core level 1 with that.
Yeah, oh yeah, core levels cost like 50, so you have enough to buy the core unarmed right away.
So let's show how you buy skills.
Yes, please do. You demonstrate, and I guess we'll kind of like talk about that.
You press I to go to the inventory. You have the tabs at the top.
I need to make that more obvious, I think.
Yeah, there's some keys in there that just...
Skills. Then we have these skills that, because I have no skills in the mine section, we go to the skills I can gain next, which is automatically opened. And, you can choose which skills you want to get. 150. What do you think I should just dodge and unarmed, I suppose?
I'm getting a miniature version of the build open so I can like watch on my end while you're playing yours.
So I want to...
Specs are off.
So then we get to choose strength or endurance +1. And then I'll go with strength. And because I've just got... because I now own that one skill, it's now unlocked the next skills that I can get with unarmed. So it just opens up.
The way that experience points work, so people wonder, why did Sean get 150 in unarmed? Like, why that? Did he do something? Like, was that an unarmed mission? The game, and we're balancing this to make sure that it fits, but the game looks at how you performed and the skills that you favored in any particular mission, and it gives you a set amount of experience points for the mission, plus any of the objectives that you've completed. The training room doesn't have any. Just as you get used to combat, it wants you to do that first before overburdening you with like other tasks. And the experience points that are given, it's 150 for the training room, are divided amongst the skills that you have favored. Sean never ran, he never dodged, he never shot a gun, he didn't swing a sword. All he did was punch guys that entire stage, so he got 100% unarmed experience points. If he wanted to get acrobatics, he would have to run around, sprint in the stage, dodge a little bit, and that would start to farm acrobatics. And then once you've done that, you can upgrade your dodge, and it just kind of goes from there. Yeah. So because Sean has taken unarmed core, he now no longer punches like a little baby idiot moron. Now he punches like an unskilled guy, but he is not complete crap like the other guys, the dudes that he just fought against. So for comparison, Sean, do you want to pop back into the training mission again?
Oh yeah. I'm just swinging around in arena, but
yeah, you'll be farming training 1 a couple times.
Yeah. So feel free to show them the character stats as well, so they can kind of see that your stats.
So go to the character. We see now I have strength 6 because I did a +1 on strength when I got this skill. They're all set at 5, right? As the
everything, 5 is your base.
Everything starts at 5. The only character in the game that starts less than 5 is those training guys that you were fighting. They start at 1 and everything.
Yeah.
0 doesn't work. Grunts, like typical grunts that you fight, are 5. That sort of thing. Now, you'll also notice when Sean was in the character profile area that there were things called sub-attributes, not just attributes. And sub-attributes are basically amalgamations of your attributes. So each of those 6 things are a combination of 2 attributes. For example, force is a combination of strength and endurance. And these things will they're basically just like attributes, but they're derived attributes. Mm-hmm. And those stats affect with some level of scaling, and by having sub-attributes, you can kind of like tell a little bit better how your skills are being influenced. And when you mouse over them, you can also you'll see what is affected by each one. They will change certain other things the way that attributes do. So, for example, force. What was one that was listed on there? Actually, my build is so tiny I can't even read it. But force, I think, is things like shoving, like how far you shove people when you shove them, that kind of thing. So it's basically a combination of the 2 attributes, but it's not like right in the middle. It actually favors the lower attribute. So if you have a high strength and a low endurance, your force is going to be very low, but also not as low as your endurance actually is. So if you want to have a high sub-attribute, you're better off buying both of those attributes up as high as you can. So things like your movement speed is based on your endurance, which is a combination of dexterity and endurance. Or it's what was it again? Yeah, athletics. Yeah, it's endurance and dexterity. Sean, did you die yet?
No, almost lost 1 corpus though.
Okay. I guess we can talk about corpus now that Sean's taking damage. You can see our damage effects in the game instead of doing the Saving Private Ryan blood splats on the camera. Instead, we have the game kind of goes digital, like glitch in the Matrix type thing. You've got this pixelation starts to creep in from the sides as your game is glitching out. I think we'll have ghosted images of the no, wrong, fail, whatever. Kind of like the first game when you die and you come.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
But it will never obstruct the screen. You'll never see it right over you, like the play area. But it'll kind of peripherally with a lot of alpha kind of ghost its way and glitch around. The screen will shake from time to time, and we'll do more work on it. Right now, the visualization's there just to make sure. Sean, if you're really having trouble, you can always make yourself invincible, but I encourage you not to.
Right. I want to go ahead and get yourself killed.
Yeah.
The orange dudes are tough.
Yeah, he's doing melee, so his character is starting from kind of scratch here.
Really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sean went for the strategy of go straight in and try to play with melee in order to get your skills up as good as you can.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Sweet. Oh, you're playing on normal. That's why.
Oh, geez, no. Oh, no.
Why would you do that? You weren't ready.
No, normal.
I only have the
If
one guy
anything,
left.
If anything, switch to unarmed. Oh, I can't see that. All right. Well, one guy left in the first wave.
We still have to work out some balancing issues.
He's playing normal when his character has no skills.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
So
say
I
this
think
part was more his choice.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is fine.
21 people. I'm dead, for sure.
142 people are watching you die, Sean,
Oh, great.
and everybody's gonna watch this video after. So, let's see here. Okay, so one thing I need to do on a mission is the game needs to look at your character. It needs to look at the skills and stats that you have, and it needs to compare it to the difficulty of the stage. And then it needs to tell you how difficult that stage is going to be for you to play.
Right.
I think that balancing, half of it is making sure that stages are playable, the other half is that the game warns you when you're doing something that you have no business doing. Yeah, you'd agree, right, Devin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
so I'm
it can't all
gonna...
be a cakewalk.
Yeah, right, exactly. If you just randomly pick a mission and it works or doesn't work, I mean, we could just say the game is too hard. But also, that's our fault for not indicating to you that you were going into some place that you were not like qualified to do. So we need to make sure that is marked. So let me make a note of that right now because that needs to be in this build.
Certainly want a player from this low level to fight normal.
You get stunned at such a low level that you're gonna get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As soon as you get rid of the stunning.
Oh yeah, he's got.
Yeah, your life will change. Yeah. What you need to do is it's an unarmed skill. I think it's called. Is it Rowdy?
I think,
Tough
guy.
It's Rowdy or Tough Guy. I forget. It's whichever one of the first unarmed things you can do. And remember, Sean, switch back to unarmed. Your character can actually punch if you need.
No, you got 2 yellows now. You're doing.
Yeah, I'm dead for sure.
Just switch to unarmed and wait for your health to come back. I can't see what you're seeing right now, but I can.
One of them's got a gun.
Death, destruction, fear, disappointment.
Well, I got some XP.
Yeah, you did get 1 wave done, so it won't be a complete wash.
Yeah, the game scales your experience points. When you die, it halves the experience points, and then divides it by the number of waves you've, or it multiplies it by the percentage of waves that you've completed. So, Sean, I think you beat 1 wave, right?
Yeah. So he did get a portion of.
Yeah. So you got some acrobatics, almost enough to be able to buy up the first core skill.
yes, fine. Dodging.
Yeah.
Actually,
Definitely
no,
enough to get melee core 1.
Yeah.
So, but so you can see in that stage there's a better division of experience points based on what he was able to do. I also see the experience points you got, that the bar is relative to the amount of experience in the stage, not the amount of experience you got. So I think I should change that.
Right. Training Room 2 has the same loadout for Training Room 1 as far as guys go. So if you want to change the scenery without like unexpected difficulty, you
Good
can do
idea.
that one.
Yeah, Sean, on the next one, right, take it up to Training Room 2, and difficulty should be the same, it's just a different setup.
Right. Training Room 3 is significantly more difficult, so I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay.
I'm debating making it so that easy and normal mode are played on, or maybe easy is played on the training room that you know. The room for Training Room 2 is actually where you would play the normal mode.
Training
You know what I
room
mean?
two.
Like you pick
right.
one mission, but it's a different map for that same mission.
I get you. No, that makes a lot of sense.
I love Training Room 2 actually. Looks sick.
Are you in there already?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. All I saw was you buying skills. So is your character swinging better? Did you buy your core melee?
I got
You can check your skills in the mission too. I don't know if the game. I remember it was broken before.
I got core melee. So I think I was 10 off the acrobatics, so I'll just flop around a bit.
Matt, are there invisible floors over here so you can drag the cursor out?
Yes,
Sweet.
there absolutely is. So yeah, if your cursor
thought of
goes
everything.
anywhere, you're fine.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, I don't want to get yelled at again.
Listen, Matt doesn't want to get yelled at. I'm tired of yelling.
This is just how things work around here.
So this stage, just like the last one, has cover. Sean has no reason to use it because his. I love those little baby penguin dodges.
Right.
He's got no reason to use it because he's got no. Oh, when you bought your skill, that's right. Was your attack was still dopey because you hadn't changed scenes yet or something.
Yeah. It doesn't happen until you move.
Yeah. Let me make sure that's a thing. On by skill.
But yeah, you definitely got the better melee swing going on there.
Update anims immediately.
I'm really glad we fixed that execute or the finisher because that thing was
Yeah.
like 3 times longer last time.
I need to put a little thing in there that shows how to do it, but once you buy Pommel Strike, Sean, the game is going to just be easy as hell. That's how you basically
That's
just
more or
keep
less
stunning
like,
them.
That's more or less the crest of melee.
Yeah.
Once you could pommel strike.
Yeah. Heavy attacks are kind of useless right now, not in the game, but just at your level, because guys take 2 hits to kill anyhow.
Right.
But as your damage goes up, and you know, it just becomes better. So the way the corpus works, for those of you guys who are new to this stuff, and we're going to be taking questions in a second, guys. We're just catching you guys up with the basic run of the game, so you know where you are, so you don't ask anything that would just get explained anyway. We're saving you that just mind-shattering, numbing embarrassment that would happen from asking a question about something that's already been shown. So you're welcome. Corpus is our health system. Corpus is basically represented by a series of blocks. The easiest way to think of it is think of every one of those blocks as its own Halo health bar. You know, that's the easiest way to look at it. Is that it's basically it recharges over time. Each one of those blocks individually charges over time. But when you lose one, you've suffered a wound, and that corpus goes away, and you can't get it back. Except, Sean, you may notice that between waves, your corpus gets healed and your ammo gets recharged if you have any. So that's our gift to you.
So if you know a wave is coming to the end, feel free to get a little more reckless.
Yeah, exactly. Now, of course, you've been playing so awesomely that you haven't needed it yet. But
we need to make you a cape.
Yeah, it will be a thing. So corpus. So basically, you continue to take corpus until it fills up, at which point your character goes into a stun automatically, no matter what. And that's when characters will attempt to do a finishing attack on you, and then that basically would kill your corpus. Your corpus will pop off until you lose all your corpus, and then you're dead. Enemies have the same exact system, and you'll notice that sometimes, no matter how much damage you do, you won't kill a guy in one hit because he's kind of like stunned for a second. That's because it requires a finisher move. Eventually, you'll buy skills that let you surpass that, and you can just blow through grunts and lower-level guys with one hit, and you just don't even look like you're trying because it's just that easy for your character.
I like the way it kind of forces a little bit of progression in terms of like how quickly you can shoot through people.
Now, Devin, because you're the sound guy, how are our levels on audio, like just on the microphone? Can you hear both me and Matt fine?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine.
Okay.
Because I'm like standing kind of several feet from the mic.
Yeah, we gotta
So
keep
you're
that
fine. You're coming through
That's
okay.
fine. You know, just in case, because we don't have got a studio here. We're in an office, which is just one of my bedrooms converted into an office.
Yeah, the acoustics could be better.
Yeah, Devin, come on, tell me you like it, right? The guys glow blue when you go talk to them now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Don't forget to replenish your stock.
Yeah.
You haven't done it yet.
Oh
So-
yeah, forgot.
Everything is icons are now sorting. It's
I can't
beautiful.
buy anything anyway because I'm poor, but it can it can spawn stuff that teases me that I wish I could buy it.
Yeah, that's because you need to start doing higher missions, which I guess you need to complete like training room.
Ooh,
Well, so you have to be something on normal, and then you'll be able to do like the rooftops or something.
Right. That's where money happens.
Is
Yeah, it's for the-
training 3
Oh.
working in this build?
But yeah, it's harder, but it does.
What does work?
Training room 3.
Oh yeah, it works, but there's like 2-3 times the number of guys.
Yeah.
Oh great.
Oh, also, Sean, drop a weapon on the ground and go to like hover over it and see if the press Q to pick up thing is like too obnoxious.
I'll do it.
And also-
arena, actually.
Show these guys that there's 2 ways to pick up items too. I just like to show it off. When you drop something on the ground and you hover over it, like by standing on it, it'll tell you press Q to pick up. However, if the item is on the ground and you're far away, you can hold Q and hover your mouse over it, and that's how you're able to select items from far away and command your guy to go pick it up.
And you can choose left or right hand as well by left mouse.
Yeah,
or right
exactly.
mouse.
In the beginning, you can't dual wield, so it automatically goes to your main hand. But eventually, you can buy dual wield, and then
Does he have the ability to like cheat up his inventory or skills?
no, that's yeah. That I don't have a button for cheating yet. Just to I need to put that in for dev stuff. So yeah, now I'm seeing it finally. But yeah, you can pick stuff up. And there are ways when you use this like press Q to pick up something from a distance thing, or hell, even if you're just moving really quickly and pick it up, eventually you'll have skills that let you slide across the ground to pick it up, so that you can like get behind cover.
Yeah, those are in. We just don't have access right now.
There's like a diving pickup that like kind of lets you roll, and all these things count as a dodge. So eventually your guy's really badass. You can upgrade the option to pick up weapons and items by kicking them up from the floor, which I think is a ranged thing. I think it's ranged, but it applies to everything. Yeah.
So come on, level up quicker, Sean.
Yeah, why are you taking so long?
No, the YouTube comments was stuck on the stream, so I'll just fix that. What was it doing? Oh yeah.
Nobody noticed.
I wanna. So do
Only Burger.
Is it
Just
acrobatics to stop your goofy sprint?
Burger King, yeah.
I'll try normal again.
Yeah.
Where's your car?
Are we back to the regular run, or is it still Goofy Sprint?
Once you have to buy dash. Once you buy acrobatics, now you have the option of purchasing dash, which changes your sprint.
50 or 100.
I think it's like 100. I can double check the costs
So yeah,
right
you
here.
just need 150 acro.
Yeah, and once you have that, you'll bolt run everywhere. And besides changing the visual, the difference between sprinting with and without the dash skill is that when you start to sprint, you start off very slow and you have to build up to your maximum speed. If you don't have dash. Once you have dash, you just instantly hit your top speed immediately. Also, you slow down when you're on stairs or going up or down stairs. Your character slows down, and you need to buy a skill to basically to be able to run up and down inclines without slowing down. Effectively, your character comes like gimped right out of the box. Your character is a dumb idiot, and you have to work hard to make him an efficient killing machine, which is what Arena's all about. Yeah, exactly. And remember, every skill that you buy is a skill that grunt didn't have that you now have over him when you go to fight him, which is going to give you more and more advantages that will stack up as you have 140 skills and you're a total badass killing machine fighting guys in these upper tier stages. Also, try to pick up a gun and shoot it when you don't have any skill doing so, and you will notice that guns are worthless. You can kill with them, but your ability to aim, to recover from recoil, even your reload speed, all of these things are going to be just garbage. So guns still kill, but if you want to be good at it, you have to learn how to do it. And this is very much different than the last game, where as soon as you picked up a gun, the game stopped being difficult. This game is still difficult with guns, but at the end of the day, guns are always more effective than melee and whatnot. They just in their own in their own field.
Right, especially when they get up close.
Right. So let me go ahead and do what I said I was going to do and check and see what the cost is for some of these skills. In the meantime, Devin, do you have any stuff on audio that you want to talk about with these guys? I obviously have but
yeah, I guess. Well, so there's a lot of new music. There's always I'm constantly writing stuff. Cheshire got me a bunch to sift through, so we're gonna put some of that in there.
We finally finalized the paperwork so that he's protected as far as his ownership is gone. You've already got your contract and everything to make sure you guys still own what you create and all that. But yeah, we finally got his from him because he's just a busy man. He moved back to Colorado, didn't he? Or where did he move back to?
He's in Idaho.
Idaho, sorry, yeah. You've been saying that, and I forget. Yeah, so he's been a busy boy, but now we finally have him back on track, which is awesome.
That's good. A bunch of sound effects. I'm working on stuff all the time. I guess they're not going to see it, but the MAG sound portfolio has just been made, and at least the first one. You've been putting stuff on. You put some stuff on Twitter, right, for the MAG? Like you showed off little.
My Twitter's always busy.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there will be mags. That's what they should know. Yeah, and then just as they keep pestering me with, hey, we got a new weapon or we got a new thing, then I keep making stuff. So constant work. There's always stuff to come in.
Sean just died on my end. I just saved my
Yeah, Sean, if you keep playing hard, you will get pretty powerful by the end of this stream.
Yeah.
It's just normal.
You'll get there. Just keep doing it.
Yeah. So one of the issues, of course, is that we want to make sure that you get through the training room very quickly, the first one, and then you can pop off to real missions rather quickly as well. At which point you'll be given objectives in each stage that will allow you to kind of follow a sort of storied reason for why you're in that mission. It's not just survive all the guys. It could be something like hack the Nexus terminals to steal their technology, and in doing so, you will be issued better cash, a little bit more experience. Typically, that's where you'll make more money, is by doing objectives rather than just completing the waves, which gets you more experience than money.
Sean, next chance you get, purchase positioning. That one is excellent.
Oh yeah, positioning and footwork, depending on if you're doing unarmed or melee. They're the same skill, but one for each, and that's what will bounce you to it snaps you to enemies when you fight them, so that you don't have to.
That's when you start to be able to Batman between people.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That gives you the Arkham series jump to enemy thing as you swing at them. So one of our goals here is that we don't want the first 20 minutes of gameplay to feel ultra repetitive, where you're just going into the same mission over and over so you can experience the rest of the game. I have fun with it. I love going in there and fighting these guys in the new VR zone. I love the new deaths. I love the audio that you guys probably can't hear because of
Oh yeah, Devin's excellent, that kind of sound. Yeah.
Yeah, but also good news, you guys will be actually hearing it by playing it extremely soon. So that's.
How soon?
Bear in mind, all we have left is bugs, not features. We have plenty of features left to put into the game. Plenty of features. Yeah, we're going to be working hard after the alpha release, but there are no more features that are going into the alpha. Matt will work on stages and outfits and cool stuff to add while I finish doing bug testing. He's not sitting on his hands just doing nothing. He's sitting on his hands doing something.
Doing
something.
Yeah, it's why wouldn't anybody do that?
Keep them warm.
Yeah. So, but what's important to note here is that we're going to be putting up that bug list, and let me make just a note. I want to make sure I don't forget. Make bug list. That is a horrible M. I did like, instead of like 2 corners on the top of the M, I did like 3. I don't me know English that often. Make bug list.
So difficult.
I know. I use enough of them. You think I would learn? It's like fighting.
Actually, total side question: will there be some characters that can do executions on you when you're stunned?
Yes, but never like this level of guy. I think Zoldats will love to do it.
Okay.
I think Zoldats should do it. They should be extremely difficult.
It's not going to be something that's going to be peppered in too hard.
It would be nice to have like
screen, and that's the guy who's going to run over and twist your head.
Yeah, because they are the shock troopers. Their point is to get in your face no matter what weapon they're using and just terrorize you.
Blitzkrieg.
But they are the Blitzkrieg, right? They are the stormtroopers of this world. And I like the idea of, I don't want to make Zoldats just impossible to kill, and that's why they're hard. That's for like golems and whatnot units to be.
Yeah, Zoldats still have the 1 or 2 corpus.
Then and actually Abominations also. Abominations will have that headbutt, and that will stun you. And if they manage to stun you, then they'll like, other than just grappling, which they can do anyway.
Right.
But if they manage to do that, they will just like freaking launch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm eager to make plenty of like nothing enemies that are easy to destroy. I'm super eager to make these enemies that are just nightmares.
I want to get Abominations in the game so soon. I love them.
Hey Matt, question.
Oh yeah, get ready for the heart.
Gun
Sorry, Devin, but this stage is gonna suck. It's gonna hurt you so bad. But anyway, ask that again, Devin.
Is Matt, are you gonna work on any gun executions in the game?
I
Smack a guy down, shotgun to the face, kind of crap.
Yeah, I'm thinking of making it so when you fire them off that it doesn't use ammo. Because I mean, actually no, it will use ammo, but if you're out of ammo, I think like it just won't fire off or something. Like you have to have a gun that's got ammo to use a gun execution.
He just then uses the gun like a club and just smashes the guy.
Right.
No! It's like click, oh, smash.
At least like a pistol whipping where he's like pop, 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 and just jams him with it and then throws him to the ground.
No, I was curious. That was just a side pot.
It's kind of startling how well the unarmed executions work out with a gun in your hand, though.
Yeah. Also, Sean, those guys spawn all from the right-hand side of the stage, so this is your hot gates. This is Thermopylae, and you are the 300.
Yeah,
so,
you are Leonidas.
Yeah, so feel free to Leonidas your way over there and like hold the left-hand funnel side so that you can kind of protect yourself, because you should be able to get them in like an enclosed area that way. That was the intention for this stage, anyway.
Right. It's more enemies, but you have a tactical advantage.
Yeah, so. I'd love the idea of in one of these stages.
Could you fall off the stage?
No.
Not by walking, but people can be knocked off.
Yeah, if you die, then that happens. But these guys float anyway, so you're literally the only one that can happen.
If they kill you and you're near the edge, then maybe.
I would love to have events in between the stage where it's like, okay, training room 3, cool, and then suddenly, boom, it's like the Nexus guys are hitting the facility.
Oh geez, they just start repelling in from above.
Yeah, like and like exploding from like vents and stuff. Like
and then we could put like warning lights all along the back that are white. Yeah. They'll turn red like the place is under.
Shit, we could have ladders coming up the sides too that were just decoration, but now we actually see the spawn of them animating up the ladder.
Oh, shit. Let me write that down. I want spawn in with ladders.
Yeah. And then we'll have an event where like all the lights go red, and we'll have like in the club stage that has the lights going. Yeah. We'll do like red alerts and stuff. Yeah, make a note of this. You guys are watching madness, movie magic in action.
Well, I like having tasks that need to be done like immediately rather than later, or just like huge lists of things.
Simbarine, you should speed paint the auditor getting raped by Tricky.
They have been talking about Rule 34 this whole time.
Oh yeah, it's been rough. As long as they're not Rule 34ing the hot dog guy, that's
because that's too easy, really. The hot dogs, come on, it's too simple.
It's too lowbrow even for
right. That's a bit
here's
for our audience.
Here's a good question from the Zuma. Will you add more gore? Question mark.
Well, there's no. Yeah, I mean, yes, but there's no gore because these characters are all digital whatever's.
Right.
So you guys will be seeing some violence very shortly. As soon as Sean beats a single mission on normal, you get to see the rooftops.
Right. So, starting to maybe think that a little bit of scaling back is necessary, because I do like the idea of some of these advanced training rooms just being maddeningly hard.
Yeah.
But normal might have to be scaled back a bit. This is.
I'm gonna get mad melee XP from this.
Yeah. You're gonna get hella experience.
I've only been using melee though. Oh, crap.
Good. I love watching those guys get bonked. And their death sounds
when
are
they
so cool.
de-res, it's so fucking.
They're like, "Roar!"
Yeah.
No, I'm glad I did good work.
Well, no,
I'm earning that pay.
The Mag Bandits roars and grumbles and what have you.
You know, that's one thing I like about you, Devin, is we're like, we just want to show off the features and have you guys like test with us so we can make a better game. And you're like, oh, new features, huh? Like, it's not even in the game yet. You're just like, you just hear about it. You're like, oh, new features, huh? Let me go make some sound effects for that. And then
I've been jonesing for some of the sound design stuff for creatures, monsters, other, and Mag. So it's not just a guy just going. Ruh. It's like I got to make it creepy.
This is one of the bosses. I know you'll have fun with like the other bosses like Hive and Ghoul and whatnot once I bring them from the concept stage.
And I want abominations to be these slathering, just maddened entities of pure hate. But how do we do that without just making every sound a scream and having a room full of guys screaming at you?
There are bad guys that do nothing but scream.
Well, there's gonna be screaming, but you like the fun stuff is like layering in like a goat pitched up, and then like a seal.
Is that what you did with
down.
the mag? Is that what that roar was in the back?
It was a combo between just a basic VO scream and then elephant seal. That brought that in and out to make it kind of grumble and verbal.
We should actually talk about with voice sets, Devin, having different situations for different sounds. That way we can have like, you can create entire voice sets and all I have to do is drop in your sounds and then plug and play. So if you wanted to, we can have a voice set where it's like we need to know that sounds will play when he attacks, when he gets hit, randomly frustrated, like different scenarios that may or may not happen with the character.
Oh yeah, no, that's
generally standing around, for example. Some guy, like a default dude won't like grumble when he's standing, but a zombie will. So we have to have like a grumbling like category and decide what the categories are.
We'll make a lot of events based on that criteria. That's just more so when we actually have our voice actors primed and ready to go for lots of recording sessions.
Yep,
you are our voice actor.
We're just waiting on
tomorrow. I only did that for the zombies out of necessity, and
it was good. It was I love the zombie voices.
Yeah, they're
but we once upon a time made a promise to Tomomoto of Tomomoto voice acting fame to do any kind of narration type work, anything that's spoken in the game. We promised him a long time ago he'd be the voice actor of choice for us. He's always been there for us. He's a fantastic friend.
Any word back from him on
the voice actor I've ever known.
Yeah, he's
any word back from him on the stuff that we asked earlier in the week?
No, but it's finally a weekend and he's a busy man in the week, so I'll ping him again just to see where he's at. But anyhow, you guys are getting the hang here of the way that the game works. Hopefully Sean will defeat a mission on normal mode so that we can see other stages.
He just upped his strength a bunch, so maybe he'll get through.
So why don't we like take some questions? I'm gonna like scoot through.
Yeah.
Sean, do we have a format for questions? Like in Twitch, it was like at Project Nexus 2 to know. Can you like type my name, or can you be like, let me see.
I mean,
if you say my name, I will see the blue.
Right. So just type Michael Swain.
Yeah, type Michael Swain or something. If I type in,
Krinkels too.
Yeah, like that.
No, as well. I meant.
Okay.
Not the number two.
Just do at Michael Swain or something.
Yeah.
Or
Can
at Project Nexus 2
Michael.
or whatever. Just use an at symbol. Just make it obvious.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah, just do an at Michael Swain. Just say my name. It'll highlight blue for me so I can see it, and I'll take some questions that Matt and I can answer.
Yep.
All right, this is some questions. Side with factions. So Zombie Videos 247 asks, will you be able to side with factions? In story mode, yeah, you will. I think we're going back to the old like GTA 2 system, right? Like
right, where you could like kind of just push your way all around.
Yeah, like siding with factions is another way of saying just don't kill their guys and do missions that hurt their enemies, and you'll slowly gain and tally favor with them. And as you do, you make it to a point where they'll draw their guns on you and warn you. Like the mercs, I think, will automatically start that way in the game, unless you like save the sheriff or something. I don't know.
Like spares ass.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you kill the sheriff, the mercs will just be on your ass all the time.
Permanently.
Yeah. or you have to really go through hoops to like replace their leader.
Well, yeah, because we have like sort of written up areas in the story where like decisions will be made that will destroy faction variety and stuff like that.
Right. But yeah, you will be able to do it, and hopefully it'll be cool. In arena mode, everybody is your enemy that you fight in a wave, except for guys you brought with you. So that just is how that works. But in story mode, yeah, absolutely, including not just in missions, but in random encounters. Like if you take a mission to kill the merc base, I think you walk in there and they pull guns on you, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here? Get out of here!" But you can't. You're in a mission, so you have to basically screw them over.
Right.
Yeah.
You're kind of locked in.
Yeah.
You made that decision.
So Rockshall asks, will there be a skill that allows you to hit multiple enemies with melee with one swing?
Oh, absolutely.
Answer is yeah. We don't have it in yet, but that's going to be a special swing of some kind. You'll hold right click, which normally is block, but Sean has to buy that skill. You'll hold right click and press left, and that's how you'll swing your sword, and it'll hit everybody in front of you.
Because the way to kind of cheat that right now is to use two-handed weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean's a brave man. Just charge the guy with the gun.
Yeah. Well,
Normally we just run and let him run out of ammo and hope for the best.
How'd you
that's
stop?
my tactic.
What's the skill to stop getting
Stunned.
stunned? Yeah.
I think that's tough guy or reckless or rowdy.
It's rowdy. It's an unarmed skill.
Damn it.
Because I see you're
That's
dying.
the one thing that just fucks me over.
Yeah, because every hit is ruining you. And remember, you're starting at the same skill as every dumb pogue in the game. And once you buy that skill, that is something you have that they don't, and forever you'll have that advantage. Let me.
How much XP did you get from Training Room 3 again?
I have no idea. Oh, I got 400 in melee because I only use melee.
Scroll bar, which has so much shit in here. Okay, so.
Actions will you implement them?
How many different types of weapons will there be? Like guns, pistols, shotguns?
There's 44 different firearms right now.
Yeah, that's just the firearms. That's not even the melee, right?
Right. And all these
Melee,
weapons
there's like 25 melee weapons, and this is just the beginning. Like,
yeah, of the 44 weapons, conventional weapons, they are all modifiable with like silencers, extended barrels, or swapped out barrels.
Right. Yeah, and forgetting that like the multiplicative effect of like this gun can have like 10 different stocks and 10 different
barrel cores.
caps
so, like,
and
if you have,
silencers.
Like, an AR-15 like front end on an AK-47, very doable.
So yeah, that is something that completely is going to just get better and bigger as the game continues. Right. And I'm pretty sure by the time we're done, I think we promised like 150 to 200 weapons.
Oh, easily.
I think that's realistic once we get you working on that.
Because I get like I said, I can make these things like crazy once I have nothing more important to do.
And it's cool once we call Arena finished and Arena's in beta and story mode is in alpha. We'll be making new weapons for story mode that will then appear in Arena, and it'll just continue to get bigger.
Because I got just this giant list in my notebook here of conventional firearms that I want to see in the gun.
And I think right now the categories are pistol. It's like the last game: pistol, SMG, shotgun. Revolver is kind of its own category, but not. It's basically pistols for skills and whatnot.
Right.
Let me see: pistols, shotguns, SMGs, rifles, heavy rifles.
Heavy rifles, like your 308s, your battle rifle.
Yeah, and heavy weapons as well for things like the M79 grenade launcher. So to take more questions here, our good buddy Bill Z asks about dismemberment.
Oh yeah, that's all you. I don't understand that.
Yeah. The scroll bar is so wacky that I keep like.
It's hypersensitive. It's on the right side.
I'm clicking on the moderator thing. I can never see it. Bill Z wanted to know. It was about dismemberment. Let me go back up. About player dismemberment be implemented. I'm wondering, Bill, if you mean like if your character can be dismembered.
It's still a fight?
And yeah, partial ones maybe that will remove ability to dual wield for the round. I think that those kind of effects will happen in Zed Survival, where the way that you lose your corpus will be replaced with a wound icon. So like if you got bit, then maybe the wound that you have is infected, and your corpus will be replaced by a bite corpus up at the top. And the only way to like heal up to that point again is to get rid of your wounds, and some wounds can't be healed. Like for example, losing your leg may hobble your character or something, and then you can never get that health back. You're stuck. But Zed Survival is meant to be crazy brutal, so that's on purpose. So yeah, maybe stuff like that. And we'll look at ways of visualizing it. We may have to like settle for just having a general wounded animation for your walk cycle and just let that be it, instead of actually having a I'm missing this leg or I'm missing this leg animation. Will the game have multiplayer? Asks G FPS series of numbers. That was almost binary except for the 4. I'm assuming that's like a birthday, 11/04/2000 maybe. Yeah. Anyway, will the game have multiplayer? One day. That's not a It's not a priority for release, but it is a priority that this game needs to have multiplayer at some point. Yes.
Right.
But we'll talk more about that someday when it's more practical. Karamita wants to know if we spin our head right round. I haven't in a long time. A better song by Dead or Alive is actually Something in My House, so go look that one up instead. Ortega wants to know how long do you think it will take to get through a skill tree? I don't know. We're still balancing. Right now, I don't know how long.
The top of melee or something?
Yeah, like let's say just melee. I don't know. I want it to feel organic. I don't want to force an amount of time.
Yeah, because the way it is right now, the unbalanced kind of mess it is. The last build I had, in about 4 hours, I got up to core level 3 of melee.
Yeah.
And that was just me like grinding these, and it was fun actually. Typically, I have to stop after an hour or two. I get bored, but like.
Yeah, it's fun. We look at this game every freaking day for the last 2 years, and so to play the game and actually have fun doing it. That's rare. That's like making pizza every day for 2 years, and one day you sit down and have a nice pizza.
You're like, wow, this pizza is a little different.
Yeah. So let's just say our intended time it takes to get through all skill trees, or let's say one skill tree. And you'll be going back and forth.
Because the thing is, like, in 4 hours, I got to core level 3, which is essentially mastery of melee, but I had also, like, built up a good deal of all my other skills, too.
Yeah.
And that was 4 hours-ish, so I guess maybe 10 or 12.
Yeah, for the single-player experience, let's say that it takes about, what, you want it to take, like, 6 hours maybe to get through one? We want this game to go through multiple, like, an organic feeling of advancement, where you play through many stages, the game tells you a story, and that give or take by the time you get to the end of arena mode, and you can keep playing. You're never done, and you can play all these stages on different difficulties and just continue your character's story. I love watching Sean die and then flop over.
That is my favorite death animation.
Like I can't die.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's say that 5 or 6 hours per thing. But I don't know. That's going to take a little bit more time before we can really answer that the right way.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, what if by hour 10 I am really just grinding it Payday 2 style?
Let's see. Zach Maticles wants to know if the tricky encounters we had planned are still going to be in the game.
Oh God.
Answer is yes for story mode. For anyone who doesn't know, from previous podcasts, we've mused about how Tricky will appear in the story. He's going to be more of a force of nature, a thing you fight from time to time. He may be integrated in the actual story and how it like pans out, but not quite as much as other characters. He's more sort of there, and you want to avoid him. Think of him as being like the witch from the Left 4 Dead series.
Right. If you're overloaded with bullets, feel free. But
yeah, feel free to take him on if you think you want, and maybe there's going to be a prize, a little pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, blood-soaked rainbow.
Or maybe just the satisfaction of having.
Right, and he's never just standing there. Sometimes he is, but like he could be like screwing around with a group of Nexus agents, and you just have an opportunity to like blast him in that that time. And so or he's doing something like screwing with a radio array, or like he's like messing up a building or playing with zombies and taunting them. Like he'll have a bunch of things he might be doing.
Right.
How many enemies? All right, let me see. Thomas the Gamer 1 asks, won't your weapons break anymore? Right now, we don't have it planned for Arena for that to happen.
Yeah. In Arena, it doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem necessary
considering how difficult it is to work melee.
Yeah.
Oh.
You'll drop them and you'll die and drop the weapons often enough that we feel that balances it out.
Right. I think the only melee weapon that breaks right now is the bottle.
Little Anon asks how many enemies can be on screen at once. We're aiming for about a combat of like 10 units at a time, but we want to make it available that you can have up to 20 people on screen without it lagging terribly.
Right, because Training Room 3 in normal and hard gets up to about 10 or 12 ideal.
Yeah. And we played the game and it gets very chaotic with a lot of guys all fighting all at once, and they're all using the same kind of skill systems that you are, but their AI is all pathfinding and whatnot. We played it in missions where it's one team versus one team, and I think that having more than 10, 15 guys on screen at once per team, so total of like 30 for the really dense combats, felt a little bit like overburdened, like it wasn't really fun anymore. It was neat, but it didn't really do it for me. So we want to have it so like 20 could be a good like max that we're aiming for, with the potential to have other guys on screen that run like reduced AIs and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, it looks like you got through normal.
Will Auditor be in the game? Oh my god. That, we're not going to spoil anything. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Christ, look at these guys there.
And if no, there will be a reason why not.
Did we leave those guys on the helipad there?
Oh yeah, that's right. Sean, when you started, those guys were there, weren't they?
Yeah, they're all agents too.
I know.
Yeah, those are just testing boys, but you might as well fight them.
Yep, and now here comes the real wave.
Yeah, good luck. The game does know how many guys are on screen, though, I think.
Yeah, unlocked Pummel Strike yet?
Yep.
You did center mouse button, then. Use that all the time.
Yeah.
That will save your life.
And in fact, if you dizzy someone like that, hit X to execute them.
Oh, he's got a attack bar, too. Look at that.
No, man. He's advancing faster than we thought.
Yeah, your first level attack bar doesn't make you invincible, though. You'll notice that
it certainly keeps these little jerks from wearing you down while you're doing real
work. Punches and like weapon attacks, like close hand-to-hand attacks on you, still do a little bit of grazing damage.
There we go, got an execution.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I was going to say X.
Yes. So you'll see some executions now that Sean has a way of stunning people that's reliable. Okay.
Go into the room on the top floor.
Ashkenazi asks, if I'm pre-ordering, will I get a code for Steam? Will I get a code for Steam when the game comes out? Yes. Yes, you absolutely will.
If they're a Kickstarter backer, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a Kickstarter backer or if you've backed up to the level on PayPal that's necessary. So if you do it on PayPal, we have a record of everybody who has paid and will continue to pay for the different levels. And we will match what you've paid for that. If for some reason, like, there's a problem, like you backed it like the $15 one and you want to do the $60 for multiple copies of the game or swag and that stuff, then just what is it? I guess you put like redeem your, you basically ask for a refund and we'll honor the refund. It'll just give you your money back and just do it again for like the higher one. If you're interested in upgrading, which we always do appreciate. So if you want the $60 one, don't buy two 30s because we'll have no way of knowing that that's what you wanted, that that's what you were trying to do. Okay, Punished Monkey wants to know which tree do we plan to have the dual wielding skill in. It's both melee and ranged. It works for both. And our reasoning for that is that melee, getting dual wield in melee allows you to unlock new attacks which wield both of them at the same time. So you're not swinging with the right hand and then swinging with the left hand. You actually do multiple hits per strike, which makes it crazy effective. And there's no reason that by doing that, now you should be able to also wield two guns, which wielding a gun and being able to coordinate with an offhand and aim and pull the triggers all at the same time. Mm-hmm. We felt there were two different skills, so we do it that way.
Right.
So if you have a gun in one hand and you want to go pick up a sword in your offhand, absolutely you need the dual melee attack, the dual melee skill to do that.
It's the shelf at the bottom left.
Yeah.
Swain. Yeah. Side note. Because I've got this on mute, did you put in the execution library sweeteners in when executions happen yet?
Not quite yet, Devin. My only holdup was that I wanted to make sure the folders didn't change, because every time I put an animation event into the animations, so any event whatsoever, I have to go into the animation manually and find it, and Unity's interface is not so great for that. So anytime like a piece of audio doesn't work anymore, because it got moved to a different folder and the game is trying to access it from that folder.
Gotcha.
Then
go back in.
Yeah, some things are fine. Like if you move an asset and I dragged and dropped the thing onto what I'm calling stat cards, I don't know why those things still aren't highlighting. I need to go back and figure that out. But anyway, if I have like a stat card for, let's say, a character's voice set, right, I can drag and drop the character hurt, the character die, the character attack.
Yeah.
And it'll find them fine. But when I have to do it manually from code by typing in a path,
yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, because of that, what I would be doing is have it access a stat card that then points to the Fmod asset, but that's way too many steps, and that's just really like weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just curious. Just checking.
So yeah, I was just making sure that nothing was moving in the meantime, but since it has stayed in the same place for a while, I think I'll go ahead and put those in.
Since I haven't dicked around with it.
And help me figure out which animations each one should be in.
The only thing I've done deliberately to mess with you was delete the door impact sounds because I was tired of hearing them because you wouldn't.
And that's fine. That's fine by me. Let's see here. So I'll just put the punch sound in there. I'll make it so when the doors close, it makes a guy scream, and I will play with you and see who is willing to go off the cliff first. Okay, let me see. Pillar 43 wants to know, will there be DLCs? Absolutely. We're going to release lots of DLC because we're never going to be done making this game.
Yeah. That's more or less how it comes down, because we're going to make what we agreed to with the Kickstarter, the arena, the story, the Zed Survival.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be a nice plump experience, and then we're just going to keep making game.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Super Duper Apple Juice wants to know, will Tricky be playable? If he is, it won't be in this game. Let's see. Will all the bosses be mag agents? No.
No.
One of the bosses will be the sheriff, for example. We know you're going to have to fight Jesus at one point. You and the Savior will fight. You'll have to beat him, but he'll also be a playable character. That doesn't mean that he's on the same side as our protagonists. That's Hank, Sanford, and Demos. But he will at least be like, that kind of thing. We have plans for returns of some of the villains from the previous games, as well as, by games I mean Episode 1 and 1.5 of Madness Project Nexus 1.
The Mercs got them large walkie robots too for their mega commanders. That'll be fun to take out.
Bill wants to know if we're going to be doing giant hologram bosses. Maybe, maybe not.
Like mag training.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like there might be a mag training mission that's like teaching you how to disarm a mag, and then we'll have like VR versions of a lot of different guys. And I would like to see that too.
Let's write scaled mag.
Yeah. Zwuggy wants to know if there will be dismemberment. Yes, absolutely. Right now there's body destruction, but there's no like cut the head off yet.
Proper removal of body parts.
And that's one of those features that's going to wait until after the alpha's out, because it's not necessary for the gameplay for that to be in, and that's the most important thing to test. But that will be a thing for sure, 100%.
Nice way to hold that gun.
Zombie Vidges 24/7 wants to know: does that mean Hank will be with the AHW unironically? Not necessarily. The AHW will be in this game for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, they're after Hank. That's their job, is to kill that guy. That's all they care about, as far as their motivations seem to be. They'll be in the game, and he will be hunted. So you will see that. Bamboo 200 119, same thing. DLC answer yes. Drake the Badger Man. Any details on the minimum recommended hardware specs?
It runs on my toaster laptop, so it's pretty generous. I had to turn down the details, of course, but
right. Well, ultimately, right. The biggest thing here is we need to make certain that, graphics aside, you can always turn your graphics down. I need to make sure that the AI is running and the engine is running in such a way where you can play it on any rig, and that it won't be overburdened.
Right, because AI does devour a lot of. Yep.
You must.
Hello.
Now the loadouts are specifically chosen by us. Any details on the recommended specs? So yeah, let's just say that if you can run Skyrim on medium quality, you can run our game.
That's fair.
Yeah. One for you, Lochner. Radical Channel wants to know what music program you're using.
I use Ableton Live and Fmod for the middleware.
So there you go. Ableton Live is where he does all of his music production.
All that beautiful.
And sound design and all that fun stuff. And Fmod is what we're using to basically do the audio engine for the game.
Yeah, Fmod takes his wave files and whatever he exports as, and his stereo waves, and he puts them into the.
I'm just realizing
that Fmod, and that communicates with Unity.
I'm sorry.
What's up with the rain? I'm
just now realizing that the rain is hitting like the floor on the floor. It's bugging the hell out of me.
Oh yeah, we just need to upload that right there.
Yeah.
We'll double check that it's you can probably put it as terrain invisible.
That's all me.
And I'll double check because maybe not also. It could be interactive. The particles could be interacting with interactive. Did we do the double doors on this?
Yes.
Cool.
They work properly, so you can take either door and wind up somewhere different.
Yeah. I love the Nexus apartments. It's so cool. My only problem with it is not a problem with it at all. It's that guys want to kind of spawn on you and like keep you outside.
Yeah.
And you're totally welcome to fight them all out here if you really want to.
You're right, but there's stuff inside to go do.
Yeah. Also, I need to make it so they can spawn over the edges too.
Yes. I'm gonna probably just use the ladder thing that I'm gonna put together on come Monday.
You already did a climbing.
Oh, we did a vaulting.
No, but like an actual climbing spawner. I thought you did. We'll double check, but I'll write this down anyway. Alright, cool. I'm taking notes as we go. Alright, so let's take some more questions then. Kick-a-lots. No, I know you hate GUI, but that skill menu is a big mess with all those skills at once. It's okay, but there must be a way to make it a lot better. Well, first off, go to hell. No, I totally agree. The purpose of that long list menu that we have is that when you don't just end up at a skill tree, right? You don't just have like a visible tree, which I have one built in Flash that I can use to visualize the order of skills.
God, that's gonna be such a big tree.
It's not small.
It's something like it's basically 150 divided by 30, so it's what does that make it, like, or divided by 4 different skills? Yeah, so that's almost 40 skills per tree.
I guess you could make an interface though. It would just be a huge map that you'd have to navigate. But
eventually, that's what I'll do is I'll just have skills. Like you'll see a list of all the skills you have, sure, but eventually you'll just see a tree there. That's what you'll get there. Is a nice big tree that you can scroll around on and see stuff, and you will have that. But the problem is we don't know what skills will go lead to what. We don't know how many skills we want to totally have by the end. We have a much better idea now.
In a sense, it'll be a giving tree.
If you
Jesus.
Good on, man.
You're not our friend.
Bad fun.
But I think that the reason we have the skill tree as a list right now, which it's totally overwhelming, I know, especially with as many skills as we have. If there were 30 skills, no problem, but not. So what we're doing is we're just making sure that all the skills work. We're making sure that that they function in the game, and then we'll go in and change the graphical interface for that. So don't worry, you will have a tree eventually. We fully intend it. But with this alpha release, that's what you're going to have to see, unfortunately. And let me make a note that at least right now that skill tree UI is lagging. Okay, so we will be getting to that. We're not. GFPS number wants to know, will the game be moddable? Totally, eventually, yes. We want to have it like Steam Workshop compatible.
Idea.
Yeah, at least weapons and eventually like stages and stuff. Also, and part. Awesome. That was a possibility. And the more I learn about Unity's asset bundles, and the more I learn about how saving and loading stuff in our game works, the easier that actually will be. So who knows? Maybe we can test and create like I think that you will have to probably, we don't have any mod tools, you'll probably have to make them in Unity, and then we'll release tutorials for how to make them compatible with our game. But yeah, that aside, like you can even put script and code on them, and you know, hope that does something. It'll be like Game Genie more than a real adjustment.
Doing some real rough surgery.
Simbrain wants to know when we're going to release the soundtrack. Technically, we can put a link down if you want, Lochner. We have a work in progress SoundCloud that.
The official release of the soundtrack, it'll come out when the game, we have it as some form of official release, whether it's early access or whatever we commit on for a real release date. But that, whatever's in the game at that point will become the soundtrack, and then there'll probably be the expanded soundtrack, because there's just going to be more stuff that's added over time. I'm constantly
so Sean is running that these guys are actually catching up and striking him down. Like I changed their chase mechanics now. Like they actually try to get ahead of you to swing and to adjust their attack so that it smokes you. So you know, we made them harder.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry, Devin. I just noticed that Sean was dealing with that crap. But anywho, yeah. But actual release of the soundtrack. So long as things are works in progress, you know, we can't actually put a proper thing out. Though I guess we could like release a bunch of downloadable soundtrack that you can get the files, and as new updates come out, you can like re-update the files. Or
I guess, yeah, something like that. We might be able to
release versions. So if they like one version over another, they still have that old copy. Let's take some more. Our good buddy Uncle Funkle wants to know. So I recently made a post on the forums about getting some more admins to post, update, and clean up the Steam group. Yeah, that's right. I did read that post. Sorry, I didn't. I wasn't more active on responding to that. Yeah, I'm totally down to do it. We do absolutely, especially in the Steam group, need it. We have guys like Sean and Nithladis and Walrus. These guys can actually make like mods in the forums, but yeah, I guess we do need more admins.
Right.
But these guys can always assign more mods.
Was he talking about the Steam thing?
But in the Steam thing, yeah, we actually we do need more Steam. We need more than just me in the Steam group, yeah.
Right.
So let me. I have Steam open. When we're done here, just remind me. I'm going to try to get on that like ASAP right after this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so JJDA Awesome wants to know: will there be subcategories of weapons like in guns, pistols, and shotguns, and what else, and in melee like bladed and blunt? Beyond that, right now that's just what we have. There's bladed and blunt. You can also do piercing. But piercing is more of a damage type. The categories of weapons are bladed and blunt. Every skill tree between acrobatics and ranged and all that has three like tiers, or rather like three columns. And melee is broken up into blocking, bladed, and blunt. So yeah, right there, right off the bat, you have bladed and blunt weapons are two different categories. And for each of those two, some skills apply only to their category, some will give you all of them. So melee, for example, the footwork one that lets you snap enemies is a bladed weapon skill because it's more about finesse. That's your finesse track. But and it applies to blunt weapons as well. But then you'll have things like edged timing, which is a skill that applies only to bladed weapons, and you'll see that in the field sometime.
Actually, total side note, and this is more of a request than anything, riot shields, and then medieval shields.
Oh yeah, no, shields are a thing we're going to put in, absolutely. We don't have them in now because the blocking will require different animation based on the shield, and it's just it's something that we just don't have right now. It will basically give you aimed armor that is like ridiculously good. Like I want it to feel like Legend of Zelda, where when you have a shield, guys are just like nailing you from the front, and you're just not even feeling it.
Sweet.
So, but the thing is, we don't want to just give you armor. We think that maybe, like, does it have to hit the physical model of the shield? Does it just block anything from the front, and does it matter that the animation looks weird, that the spark is coming from your head when the shield is what blocked it? I'm leaning towards having shields have their own like tack bar of some other kind. Like when you wield a shield, it has like an automatic defense tack bar or something that lets you block a certain number of shots, or something.
Ooh. Here's another good weapon question. Not me. So a bandoneer, will there be spears, polearms, halberds, spear weapons? Question mark.
Yeah, eventually, but yes. And they'll have their own animations.
They're going to be like the kind of weapon that comes with their own animation set, not unlike the fencing foil.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, NJ Trio will be Game Dev Workshop. We've said yes. How complicated will AH mode be, if at all, says zombie videos 24/7?
Oh god.
It will be. I don't know. I don't want it to be complicated. I want you to be able to buy the base and then hit start, and then it's like a tower defense game. And really, you have a couple of options of what you can do in it, like turn a turret on or off, so that you lure a guy into the room and then spring a trap. Or decide when you want to send waves of guys into a room. So you could let them just wander through your base and never spawn anyone, except for the guys that you've assigned. Like, bam, that's a guard post, that's a guard post, that's a guard post, or guard this door. Put 3 guys on this door. Put 5 guys on that door.
Right.
And then once the game starts, it's actually remarkably easy because it's all about kind of seeing how your defense plays out. So think of it as tower defense, and then when he gets to the final boss is you, and you have to actually fight. So it becomes hands-on, and you can no longer like call in waves and stuff. It's like the ultimate battle thing. So that's kind of that. So I don't want it to be too complicated, but I do want it to be very detailed and fun, of course. Let me see. I'm kind of like lost where we were. Jesus Sword. I'm gonna go back up. Console commands. Oh yeah, we have a lot of questions. I gotta fly through some of these.
Yeah.
How much will the DLC cost? Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff on here. Content for alpha.
DLC will cost anywhere from like, it depends on like how much there is in the DLC. Because I have plans for doing like weapon packs. Some have like 10 or 20 new weapons for like a block or 2.
Yeah, and like we're gonna, if we want to update something, like from time to time, we're just gonna like release new free stuff. Like,
that too.
Here's a new enemy. Here's like a new weapon that we thought was really cool. Just happy birthday.
I suddenly wanted this thing I saw on the History Channel.
Yeah.
And now you guys get it for free because that's gonna happen a lot too. But like I talk about like the cheaper DLCs will just be like weapon or new enemy packs, and then like maybe a few bucks more we'd have like a new story arc thing, not unlike Nexus 1.5.
Yeah. Right. So in the interest of speeding through some stuff, and I'm going to try to get to some questions that I've scrolled over by accident. So Infinity7UJ wants to know, and this is important, if my friend got the 4-pack as a backer reward, he means on Kickstarter, will he get 4 alpha keys? Yes, absolutely. Right. The number of copies of the game you get will all have access to everything if it was Kickstarter. Same thing with PayPal. If you back for the $60 one that gets you a couple copies, and you have certain, like basically all access, both of those copies will have that as well. So if you bought it together, and the number of them that you get will... What's up?
I'm watching Sean.
Oh, because he's about to get smoked by the red guy?
Oh no.
He's an awesome.
No.
Yeah, and notice how he's faster than you, right? So he's...
No, you're still a little faster than him.
He went down.
Oh, yeah.
No!
Steam achievements, yes, there will be. Why do the agents have black shades? Because... can't you throw your weapon in this, since it seems like you can't? Says, ask Thomas the Gamer 1. Yes, you can, and that's an acrobatics skill. We wanted to put it in acrobatics because it made sense. Sean just is favoring the other skills right now.
Yeah, my acro build that I did recently was hilarious because he had the running jump kind of pick up a weapon thing.
Oh yeah.
So he was just like bouncing between weapons and flinging them into people's heads. So that one's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you can throw weapons. That is in the game. Sean just hasn't purchased that.
Yeah, how much is dash?
And some of them will throw weapons at you, but not a lot. Dash is $150, and
he's only got 95
150.
Will there be slow motion moments? Asks Battleman Tot. Yes, there will. Mostly during the when your combo gets high. Eventually, we're gonna have it so they will slow down, but you won't. But yeah, there will be some slow motion moments.
Right.
Slow moments.
Just to perpetuate your badassery. It's not in...
Simbarine asked to throw the contest for you guys design outfits. Yeah, I don't see why not. We don't have any particular plans right this second, but I love the idea of having that kind of stuff. Yeah. Bow and arrow type weapons asked Bill Zhuang. Yes, I think one of the backers who asked for the level where you get to design something for the game or have us design it. I believe bows was one guy's idea, so we'll have something like that.
Like the proper Rambo bow, not like a crossbow.
Yeah, it's just right now we need to develop a system where it's a two-handed weapon, where the weapon is in your left hand instead of your right hand, and there just isn't a system for that right now. But that will be designed, and that will be a thing in the game. But yeah, we'll have something like that. It'll just be an animation fires off, just like a melee. In fact, what if we made bows and arrows a melee weapon, and as part of the animation, it just shoots an arrow?
Yeah, an arrow leaves it.
It basically is like it is an animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just make it a melee weapon and stick it in your offhand.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Then, like, you wouldn't pommel strike, or your pommel strike would make a little more sense that way.
Okay, will the hot dog guy appear with Tricky?
I did make an apron just the other day.
Yeah, we have a chef character now. Jeebus will be in the game at some point. Is Demos going to die? Everybody will die. It depends on how you play.
Right.
Is the auditor in here? I need him.
No auditor yet.
No auditor yet. Maybe you can add Tricky challenge mode for hardcore difficulty players. It would be neat to put Tricky in as like a bad guy in arena sometimes, but
maybe
we're not that cruel.
Maybe a wireframe Tricky.
That could be neat. Yeah, madness mode and then Tricky mode is just its own thing. But we'll see. Like,
where he's in the room and you just have to, antagonize him and fight him.
Yeah, and also you can grapple and kill people with grapples. Sean just doesn't have that skill yet.
Yeah, don't do hard. It's impossible.
Yeah. Okay, so we're finally caught up with the questions. Now we can go back down. Will you guys ever do a contest? Took that. Hours of content for the alpha. Yeah, that's where we left off. Okay. Hours of content for the alpha. I don't know. Like
for what we're about to release?
Yeah, we'll make the skills a little bit easier to get. I might double the experience or have the cost for everything or something, but or we'll work on how quickly you can buy it.
I think double the experience would be just fine.
Yeah, right. At the end of the day, we just double what you get, and it's the same as having everything.
This guy can't shoot for beans.
Yeah, Sean's character, look, he even holds the gun like an idiot. He holds it like a gangsta.
All sideways.
It's like tilted sideways, so he shoots like a moron because his character
doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
And notice his recoil is crap. These guys aren't like he's doing some damage. I think guns are a little bit too crappy, but also the sweet spots aren't like.
No, they come around fast. I'm pretty sure he's going to get enough experience to become at least competent after this.
Yeah.
Because like by the time you get core 1 or even core 2, like you're putting people down pretty quick. Especially when you have the ability to bowl over Corpus and you don't have to shoot a guy twice.
Yeah. I might make it that guys that are this weak just die really quickly with ranged weapons anyway, and then that way like grunts are still a little bit difficult.
Actually, no, that would make sense because like a lot of the XP you get is based on whether or not you actually kill someone.
Right. So Zweggy wants to know will Mag Agent Torture be in the game? Not torture because this is not the same world.
Yeah, I was gonna say we hadn't really thought about that.
In the episode 7 DLC. Maybe.
Well, alright, to be fair, yes. Eventually what we want to do is release as DLCs every Madness Combat that you can replay them as those characters. We'd love to do that.
Right, and making Torture be easy. Just take a mag and stick some nails in his head.
Yeah, and he's the one who bats Hank with the shotgun, right?
Right.
Yeah, and actually has the huge slug and gets killed by a chainsaw.
Yeah. So if you want the chainsaw, that's in the mags or MC7 DLC.
Yeah. So eventually, that will be that. That should have been the right answer. But in the story mode and all that as we see it now.
Sean's better at this than us.
Ventures Darkness 129 wants to know, when released on Steam, will making mods for the game or custom stages be a thing for the Steam Workshop? Answer is yes. Mr. Faceless, how much will the DLCs cost? I'm sure we answered that, and you asked that before we answered it.
Right.
Thomas the Gamer 1, won't Hank be together with Sanford and Simon in this game? Sure. Yeah. No, Simon plays a much bigger role in this game than he has in the.
Right. Well, since Demos died.
Right. Yeah. Since Demos died, Simon has really had to like pull his weight.
Right.
He appears in every episode, but off camera. Karamida 9 wants to know, I can't remember if this was asked, but can you do gestures taunt enemies, and will it have an effect on them psychologically?
Enemies do. Enemies already gesture, which is
when you surprise them and they notice you, which you don't see because enemies start off noticing you in arena. But they'll gesture in combat when you're surrounded by a group of dudes. The guys on the periphery waiting to fight are like pumping their fists and like pointing their fingers at you and
Yeah, just acting like jerks.
yeah, just being a bunch of knuckleheads.
Right. So yes, it won't be too much harder to make taunts for the character, and that's something that I would like anyways. Especially
taunts
for
will be a
arena
thing.
mode.
Taunts will be in at some point, and also gestures for when you command guys, like dudes that you've hired.
Mm-hmm.
You will like when you gesture them in combat, you'll actually do it. You'll point something.
Go pointing to whatever you just told them to do.
Which simultaneously you'll see enemies in arena do the same thing. Will there be a magic tree for the savior characters, other characters? Yes, and he asked other things.
Oh, well, those are like the higher trees.
Yeah, eventually when you've maxed out your skill tree, you'll be able to, or maxed out certain skill trees, you'll be able to buy professions, things like gunslinger, that kind of thing, and once you have them, you will then eventually be able to take an apotheosis tree of your choice, but not until like late game. And once you do that, you'll have abilities such as telekinetic Jesus powers, maybe zombie commanding, we'll see. We're not.
Because like one of my favorite things about games is
Necromancer.
Super difficult, but you come back to at end game and just dominate them.
It would be cool to have a zombie power where any henchmen of yours that have died you bring back and they fight with you again.
Or like anyone you kill becomes a zombie.
Yeah,
up to
like
like 10 zombies or something.
Right, or like maybe just a low-level summon zombies from anywhere. Like you just summon them from the ground and they're like around you.
Better, yeah.
And but then also like just like a low level so it doesn't. Because one of the problems is if you set your settings so that the body count on the screen is 3, then is that the number of zombies you can also spawn? You know, so it's one of those things where maybe it keeps track every guy that you've killed. Regardless of where the body is, just ticks up the number of zombies you can spawn. You know,
Sounds like the White Walker special powers.
Yeah, right, exactly. And they just come in from the ground. They don't come in from the bodies on the floor. Maybe if there are bodies, they'll come up from that, but otherwise they'll spawn around you. The problem there, it's just that your graphic settings should not be able to affect your gameplay experience. So that's a difficult one to do. But there will be apotheosis trees that let you control auditor type powers, Hank level of badassness. Jesus powers, that kind of thing. Even turn into something of a mag by upgrading your size. Little Anon wants to know: will damage done affect how effective the character and enemies perform, like movement, aim, melee, and damage? Damage done affect how effective the character and enemies perform? I'm not sure I understand.
Can you be like wounded and given a Charlie horse or something?
Oh, maybe in Zed Survival, yeah.
Yeah. You're essentially pretty much like good to go right up until the last drop.
Yeah, even if you're like one like inch from death, you're still performing at your peak, basically.
And essentially Skyrim rules.
Yeah, in arena and story mode, just because that's what's important.
Right.
And in story, we may have the mandatory you're on drugs mission, and so everything is weird. Or your character started the mission wounded because you fought a guy too powerful for you, and you're supposed to go through that. So now Hank is like limping or something.
Right.
Like maybe that, but that's more story.
Right. I like the question that came in right after that one. It was asking about morale. Enemies for sure, and not so much in arena though. Yeah,
we want kills to affect certain types of guys. Like we want mercs to be afraid when you fight them. AHW will suffer no kind of fear whatsoever because they are just killing machines that serve kind of a hive mind. But yeah, we do have intentions for more fear-based combat based on the faction you're fighting. Tiberius Silkfang wants to know: will weapons begin to break and then be used as an insta-kill like in the original? I do miss that, like being able to like the weapon is broken, so you're like, I don't need this anymore, so you insta-kill a guy.
Right.
Weapons don't break right now, so no. But you can also throw weapons at guys and they get stuck in them, and you can still pick up the weapon and use it again.
Right.
So thrown weapons kind of serve that purpose, and they're also very powerful. Mr. Faceless asks, will there be access to console commands? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we don't have it now.
Yeah, it's not in now, but probably. Let's see. Battleman Tot also wants to know: will there be armor set bonuses? If you mean bonuses like DLC or like rewards, or if you mean like if you wear one set like in Diablo, that you get a bonus for wearing everything of that
like
kind.
Matching, yeah.
Maybe not matching sets. No, probably not. But
yeah, because it feels limiting.
Right.
Just for this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And we don't have enough sets like to like. I'd love to have thousands of armor pieces like Diablo, you know. But, I don't know. We will have things like rusty this and like improve that, and we'll have ways of making it look different. Like throw like a blood texture on it, like a greasy texture.
Right.
And that just is your default.
This is a not so great.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Sean, if you have a gun next time you go to the HQ, see if you can't demonstrate how the weapon bench works. At least. Like
yeah.
I need a gun though.
No, I know it barely works, but it does work to a degree.
I need to write down that the shelf doesn't highlight, and I need to figure out why.
That one might be me. It could be 2 shelves there from when I was trying to put 2 objectives on it. But I'm pretty sure I cleaned that up before I...
I'll double check. You should make enemies flinch in disgust when you use an execution to keep them from attacking you in the middle of an animation. I know they do that in Batman.
Yeah, we
in
have
the Arkham
surprise
series.
animations, and that's the thing. Like, some of the animations are super long.
Was Krinkels at 1200 asking that? I'm debating it because I don't want executions to just be a free pass.
Because like you can execute people like pretty much in a chain.
Yeah. Now, if you have to expend something like the Batman system of you have to have a combo of 5 and that earns you a gold star you can spend on an execution.
Mm-hmm.
If that was the case, then yeah, sure. But in this case, it's not an expenditure of being able to off a guy. It's more like if he's stunned, you can just go around doing it. And pistol whipping does make that kind of easy. So the trade-off is either make pistol whipping not as great, or make it cost something to do. And you can only do it on a guy that's stunned, and you have to have like some expenditure of some kind.
Right, your combo level is some number.
So right now the expenditure is they continue to hit you. The good news though is when you execute somebody, you get a boost to your attack bar. And if somebody hits you, then maybe it removes the attack bar, but that gives you a moment. And you've just knocked the guy out of combat at the same time. Geodax or Laudad Sack wants to know Sandbox mode, like access to the city and arena. We've unlocked that in arenas and another mode. I like to think of arena as kind of a sandbox mode, but if you mean like the original Madness Interactive where you get to summon dudes in and stuff, I wouldn't mind having a training area that lets you do that.
We got like plenty of these dumb little tester rooms where just like we can do.
Exactly. But we'll play with it. It's not a priority, but I'd like to see something like that. Nicholas Zeniki wants to know, can we change our character skin to a zombie look or something? Certain origins that you will be able to unlock will let that be a possibility, yeah.
Yes.
And so it'll you won't just be a grunt underneath. Like changing your origin when we have that fully functioning will totally change you into different things. I see Lochner's posted that. Karamida9 wants to know, I agree with Kickle enemies should react extremely gory stuff. That's not a question. And also, I agree, some of them will be, that'll be more of a fear reaction. Some guys will do that as fear, yes. Not so much to make it so that you don't get attacked during an execution, but that if you're building a character or if you're fighting against a faction that is known to be kind of cowardly, like the Mercs.
Mercs with the bandits, right.
And the bandits especially, then yeah, you'll see that more organically, I think.
Yeah, because the AHW probably execute them at your will, or peril, rather.
Mr. Faceless wants to know what workshop item would we like to see, I think was the question.
What would we like to see?
Would work, yeah.
Jeez,
I don't know. I can't wait to see what people do. I really want to see really bizarre weapons that just don't work.
Because the thing is, from my position, if I wanted to see it, I'd make it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, right, it's hard to
honestly, from the way everybody's been talking in the chat, just SpongeBob as a playable character. There's your workshop.
Who? What?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
It'll be very funny to see how people create a SpongeBob character with this system. Bear in mind, characters do have arms. There's no model for arms because they're madness dudes.
Yeah, their armature for arms are there.
Yeah, so if you wanted to make an armature for a guy that really just
looks like a human
being. A human being, yeah.
Legs.
Yeah, you could totally do it.
They'll probably give him the sponge texture. It'll be horrific. It'll be great.
So Tiberius Silverfang wants to know. He apologizes but asks, when will the playable game be available? After this podcast, I'm going to make available and constantly post the links to the bug test and bug like the to-do list basically for our bug fix list that you guys can see is basically our checklist before we can put the alpha out. Really, it's just depending on me fixing bugs. That's it. That's all that we need. It's no more features, no more anything. There will be features after this release, but...
What the hell are you still doing here for? Go work on that shit.
What's that?
What are you doing here? To go work on those.
Telling you about how I need to do it. That's my other job. Punish Monkey says, do you have a set release date month for the alpha release date? Same thing. It's not so much set as I want it released right this second, right now.
Oh yeah.
Problem is, there's just bugs that kind of make it uncomfortable, and then once we put this alpha out, you guys are going to be helping us to balance this, and we're going to have an open forum for this where we can just
we
basically
just sit there and absorb all of your comments.
Yeah, you guys will have access to an area of the forums on Project Nexus 2/forums. Where you will be able to, as backers, as alpha Kickstarter backers and alpha PayPal backers, will be able to jump in and help us bug fix. That's where we fist the bugs until they stop being bugs.
Right. The internet has done weird things to us.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I'm just not happy. But you guys will be given access to an area where you'll be able to help us figure this stuff out and make the game more balanced and, of course, fix bugs, because that's all I do anymore. I hate it, but it's necessary. So that's so much for the set release date. We don't really have one. Simberine wants to know: have you guys ever thought about putting in bows and arrows? Is that? Oh yeah, that's one of them I saw. Yes, we do and we will, but it's not a priority at the second. But we will have it.
Oh hey, he's modding the weapon.
Yeah. Okay. So for those of you who see, Sean is basically
he's using a lotto.
Yeah, basic. Right. Right now, you just use the workbench, and it kind of lotteries a thing. It swaps out and replaces parts, and it kind of changes the stats for the weapon, which you can see from the from your character's inventory. Now that I don't know why I took damage out. I don't know why it wasn't in, but
it's in now.
It's in now. Yeah, so you can go in and see the stats from your inventory.
You get a closer look at it with the inventory screen, of course.
Why haven't we implemented Dad yet? You mean from like Dad and Dad's Home, or Dad and Me? There's two dads. There's the dad from the Behemoth.
I think he's talking about the Madness Dad, which is.
No, he's not.
That's
He's not allowed to be in.
Oh, is he the one that has the white and pink?
No, he's like the flaming hat of hair.
Yeah.
And like he just goes around enlightening people.
Oh, so that right. So that is Dad from Dad's Home then.
No. It's
that is Dad from Dad's Home.
No, it's Dad from some guy made it. It was a fan cartoon of Madness Combat. But it's this guy with this
But I mean, that's
flaming black hair.
But that is what Dad's Home does. His head catches on fire and he catches and he lightnings people.
No, never mind.
I know you're saying it's a different thing. That there is a different dad that is the exact same thing.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's basically Dad's Home. That's what I'm getting at. Let me see. All right. Boy,
this
stacking up again. Bows and arrows, yeah, eventually. Body shields, yes, that is a priority. But that's more for like story mode. It's more important for that. So it's gonna have to get pushed for a little while. Right. But that will be a thing for sure.
Like
body shields.
We're less features, more fixing.
Yeah. Thomas the Gamer 1, will there be a stage where you get to kill all the Makes in the Madness Project Next 2 game like you do in the first game? I guess, do you mean like just fight all the different kinds of units? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what you're asking is do you get to have, like, fight all the different kinds of enemies? Yeah, right now Sean just hasn't advanced that far, like, and also we don't have all the stages finished.
Right.
But there are many different types of enemy in the game, different factions that play differently than other ones. But ultimately it comes down to swinging and shooting guns and swords, you know. Battleman Tot, so swords, spears, and shields will be a thing. You better tell me that I will be able to save a princess. I don't know, because you're triggering me right now, because your non-PC stereotypes of male versus female gender roles is totally. No, just kidding. There are no dudes or men or women in Madness, so they're all just androgynous guys with.
I guess if one of them wanted to say they were a princess.
Yeah, I mean, you totally have the option to identify as a princess.
But ultimately, you are just this little gray homunculi.
Yeah, save a princess? No, in Madness, nobody is helpless. Everybody can pick up a gun. That princess is saving herself.
Right.
What is it from Dragon Ball Z Abridged? It's like, we're more of just asexual slug people. That's what Madness dudes are, I guess.
Derpy Dave wants to know how much the game will cost. The game will cost, what is it, $15 or something? Yeah, I think 15 is a fair number, based on the amount of time we put into this and the content that's coming with it. And of course, anybody who's backed it is getting it for what they backed it at. Michael Swain, can we change our skin in the game? For the love of all that is insane, just say yes or no. You probably asked this question before I already answered, which is that your origin will let you do some stuff like that. You'll be able to choose also, I'm going to have a little slider in here, where you'll get to choose which crossface you want to start with if you're just a grunt. So that'll be a thing as well. Is what kind of like grunt crossface do you want to start with?
Right.
Let's get some more questions. Zwaggy, will there be grenades that you can throw whilst firing in one hand? I don't know. It'll probably just be a G button.
Like a dedicated grenade button?
Yeah, probably like a G button to throw a grenade.
I want something like that for shurikens too, because acrobatic skill unlocks that.
I think shurikens will just be like a gun. It's like a thing that you hold, but that has ammo, and then you just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. And for as long as you hold it, you'll continue to do this animation. Once you get rapid fire shuriken, otherwise it's just a throw animation and you throw shurikens. The first level will be like throwing knives or something, where you have it and you do the same animation, but you keep the knife like a stack of knives in your hand until you're done with it, and then gone. Grenade throwing. Bill says everybody will die depending on how you play. Does that mean there are multiple endings?
As we have it written.
Yeah, there's 2 specific endings to the game, as in how your choice at the end will kind of, affect it. But at the same time, stuff you do in the game, maybe it'll affect some stuff, maybe not. We have to decide the level of that in the story. Yeah, we know what the story is. We just have to decide how much variation we're willing to commit to.
Right. Because I don't mind telling a perfectly linear story. That's kind of what I'm committed to immediately. Just putting in little bits of variation is. Yeah. We like to do that, especially with some of the ideas we had about the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. So somebody wants to know if we're going to add Molotovs or other bomb-related stuff. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We have breakable bottles now. We just need to add an explosion and fire to it.
Yeah, because I was going to say you made a really cool fire shader, so
yeah, it would be very easy. We could just do a flame explosion.
And then the fire sticks to all the stuff that it got on. Yeah.
Yeah. Thomas the Gamer 1. Will there be a stage where you get to kill all the makers? Oh, I see. Makers of the Madness Project Nexus. I see what the question is.
Oh no, now
fight us? Yeah, we're going to appear in the story mode yet again.
Yep.
And there's going to be a Newground stage also at one point for fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't Tom Pulp and all the other big backers going to be there too?
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Oh, hey, Bob, dude.
Am I late?
When the hell did you get here?
I've been here for 5 minutes.
And welcome to the cast. Yeah, so finally I'll be able to kill Oni, which has been, I dream about this every night.
And they're good dreams too.
Yeah, and we'll have Ego Raptor agreed. He was happy to be in there as well because it's not like he has to do any work.
No.
But we'll have a unique voice set to him. He comes in, his character will have the angry face, awesome serious face or whatever.
Right. Just throw back to Newground.
Yeah, you'll fight him. He'll be like, oh my god! He'll do his Ego Raptor thing. Oni will be like, it's hey guys.
Maybe a slightly larger head.
Yeah. Stamper will just sit there and let you kill him.
Feel bad about everything for no reason.
Yeah, and Lewis will be unkillable unless you destroy the bottles at the bar, and then that kills him.
Right, and then he dies on his own.
He just
Dies of his own accord.
Yeah.
All-powered robot.
Oh, Rakshal asks a good question. So is XP based on kills, damage, or just general use? All right, so that's a really good question. Hang on a second, let me...
General use, I know that swinging the weapon around won't generate XP. The hits have to connect.
Mm-hmm. So stages have a set experience point that you get, and I'm sure you heard this, but for anybody just joining us, they have a set amount of experience points that you get for completing them. Doing more objectives gets you more experience points, and of course stages will increase in XP as you go to kind of scale with the difficulty and get you through the skill trees pretty quickly. So what happens though is that swinging a sword, blocking with a sword, being shot, dodging a hit, tack dodging a hit, sprinting.
I think tack dodging in general raises your acro.
Yeah, it does in general. Once you have tack bar, then raising acrobatics is a lot easier. Taking damage and by the kind of source that you took the damage from. Generally swinging a weapon, committing executions, grappling, all these different, anything you can do that's combat, or generally just playing the game. The game will interpret as a percentage value that at the end of that match it'll decide how much you favored one thing over another, and then cut the experience points you got into those different categories. Mm-hmm. So if you went into a mission and you only ever punched people and you never took a hit and you never dodged, you never ran, and then basically you will only get unarmed.
For clarification on the weighting of the events that could raise things, let's say I beat people into a stun state with my hands and then I finish them off with melee consistently. Now, does each melee blow count as a finishing blow with that stick? Is that how it worked out?
I know the execution just gives you flat points, and the weapon you're executing with also is specific about that. So if you beat somebody up with your pistol whip and they're stunned, and then you do an unarmed execution, I think in general the pistol whip counts as an unarmed attack, but I think it counts as a melee skill. So I think it gets your melee skill up, but it counts as an unarmed. I think that's how we did it. I think. Whereas I don't remember. I'll have to double check.
I like the frame rate's really high with all the bodies.
Yeah, and this is a stream, and look how freaking smooth it is. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're done with Twitch.
Yeah, and with all those bodies too. Yeah, goodbye Twitch. Never again. So anyway, that's kind of how that works. But moving on to questions, because we're getting to the 2-hour point, and I know we're going to have to cut off soon.
Yeah.
Sean gets the crap beat out of him.
I had to go into God mode there. That was... I'm cheating, guys. Just...
Will zombie mode be like an RTS? No, it's still the same engine. It's not real time, or excuse me, it is real time, but it is not like a strategy game like
Command and Conquer.
right. Yeah, you don't click on your guy. It won't be like what's a good example? Dragon Age.
It'll be closer to Evil Genius.
Yeah, it'll be closer, but you will still be controlling your guys. You are shooting it would be kind of neat to do it so that you like command them and they you know just do their own thing.
But then you could like of course just jump into someone's head.
Yeah.
So no, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, that could be neat to be able to jump out and be able to play somebody, so long as they don't have any debilitating things like I'm a zombie now, or I've gone mad and I'm enraged.
No longer controllable.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love
Maybe
to have
there's like a chip
non-controllable
like
stuff.
lodged in everyone's head, and that's the override chip.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason they lose that, you can't.
So notice how
Those
Sean is
modders.
smoking these guys, and he's been playing for 2 hours, and his character is pretty skilled.
I had God mode at the end there, but you know.
But it's,
I know
yeah,
that was meant for me more than
I know.
anybody.
But even so, your character's actually like taking these guys out fairly quickly.
Ah,
He is getting
These are the
stronger.
mercenaries, by the way. He's fighting the merc faction.
special
with the-
strike.
Zwaggy wants to know, will mag agents be playable? Yes. You kind of. You'll be able to upgrade your size ever so slightly. You'll never be 3 times the size of a person.
Mhm. I'm thinking for like some kind of
Yeah.
bonus mode later on, but
Oh, yeah.
not for now.
So, zombie videos 24/7. Where will Mag Hank play into the story? Mag Hank isn't really involved in this. This happened sometime before those events, but in a different sort of canon anyway.
Yeah, the canon's goofy, and it'll make more and then less sense. You know, like every time a cartoon is released,
Yeah.
it answers questions, and then
Bill says, haha, Simon the cameraman. Radical Channel says, why Demos died, or dead? No, why Demos died.
because he got shot.
Because he got shot in the cartoons, but he's alive in this game. You will be able to play him.
Yes, he is floating around there.
Mr. Face says, you ever meet any other game developers that sprouted from Newgrounds? Yeah, like all of them. Yeah. Pico Day is going to be in like a week, a
that's
weekend,
next week.
like 2 weeks really, yeah.
No, wait, yeah, it is 2 weeks.
Yeah. This day in 2 weeks, it's going to be Pico Day, which is in Philadelphia here where we're broadcasting from and where we live. And that's where Newgrounds is based out of, which is give or take sort of the sequence of events that led us to live here as well. So anyways, yeah, we meet all kinds of game developers. We know most of the guys from the Behemoth. I'm not everybody's our friends, but we're all really friendly with each other. We all know each other pretty well. Let me see. Michael Swain, will you be able to fight or be giants? You know the crazy huge guys, says May Dodson. Yeah, you asked that question before I answered it, I'm sure. So yeah, you know by now that yes, you will. You'll fight them and you'll be able to play them to an extent.
Right.
Toaster Inspiration, trademark, wants to know, will there be buffs like adrenaline shot kind of thing that Sanford takes an MC 6.5 after he got shot? Yeah, absolutely.
No, we already got something like that in place.
Yeah, we have a buff system, like the dizzy over people's heads, that little icon, that's a buff. That's a debuff, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll see that every time Sean here does an execution, there's a skull over his head that increases his speed and power.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the bloodlust buff.
And I think it'll make you unstunnable when you have bloodlust. I don't think I put that in, but I need to do that.
That's the idea. Okay.
Yeah. Thomas, the game. Will you be able to
gonna turn into drug junkies, just popping pills to get stronger?
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, just max pain it. Heck with it.
Right.
You deal with the addiction later.
Right. That's a problem for future Max Payne, which is why in the third game he's in such shit shape.
Oh god.
Which is fantastic.
But like just cirrhosis and shit.
Yeah. Remember, don't do drugs. Stay in school.
Yeah.
Thomas the Gamer 1, will you be able to buy Sanford's hook in the game for your arena mode character? Yes, because Thrown Weapons has a special weapon skill that allows you to do things like throw boomerangs and actually have them come back. It's not implemented now, but you will be able to do that, yes. Why haven't we implemented Dad yet? Yeah, we talked about that. Will there be mustard gas, says Super Duper Apple Juice. Maybe like flashbang style weapons that just do things that are kind of like that.
Like stun weapons.
Yeah,
sure.
specifically mustard gas, maybe like choking gas or something, but not specifically mustard gas.
None of our notes really address mustard
Yeah,
gas.
how about Agent Orange?
Ouch.
It's in like 30 years you will be suffering from birth defects.
Right.
Like your children will come out weird. Let's see, will there be people that will just stop fighting and smoke when you kill a lot of enemies, says Swaggy? We assume that everybody has smoked before the game, which is why they're going to die.
Right.
Yeah. I could in
Sean got
story
a
mode.
cigar, though.
Oh yeah, Sean, are you wearing a cigar now?
I am.
Nice.
You know.
Well, he is going to die.
Well, at some
Yeah,
point
this
it will,
is-
yeah.
Look
It's-
at Sean, you can also rotate your back there if you want to.
Like click and drag it.
Yeah, if you're so inclined, just to kind of see your guy from
Oh
different
yeah,
angles.
that's cool.
So,
Not a grunt.
No, not a grunt at all.
So, Zwaggy, you will see guys that will be smoking in story mode when they don't know you're there, like when you're still in stealth.
Yeah, I think we got
Absolutely.
that before too.
Yeah. Let's see, Katori the Gispla. Are there any planned references with quotes of other tunes or something, maybe like to the Newgrounds masks you mentioned in the Kickstarter? Yeah, I mean, the masks will be available to backers. Nobody else will have them unless maybe we'll make it a DLC people pay for, but, you know, just so everybody has the option to have it.
Mhm.
But we want to make it mostly impossible for anybody who didn't back us on Kickstarter to get those cool
Yeah, yeah.
Newgrounds masks.
There's still going to be
because-
some exclusivity to the Kickstarter
Yeah.
backers.
Yeah, those are a thank you to you guys. Which means they
Yeah,
won't be
60.
announced, but they will be DLC that we give specific keys out to.
Yeah.
Yeah, $60 DLC.
Our good buddy Bill wants to know, maybe execution fear can be a skill. Yeah, probably.
The
That's
two more intimidating ones.
yeah. That could be in that case it could be a proficiency where you're like a fearmonger proficiency. So that's like a career that you buy. Yeah, I could see that. And to get it, you have to have mastered any one of the careers. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Anyone and upgrading it may allow a second or third scare. Yeah, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds about like what we're thinking, or where we would go if we did it that way. Yeah. JJDA, awesome. Will there be customizing melee weapons like bats with nails or axes, or replace the head with a blade? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I got the notes for that right over there.
Yeah, I want to see weapons be like Kerbal Space Programming, where you like we put a point on a weapon, and that's where like the nail is or something, and you can like adjust it once we have a working system.
Yeah, the UI for the weapon modding needs to be put in place before we move over to melee weapons, because the only things that can be modded right now are the firearms, and that is done by Lotto.
Right. But we do want it. So at Michael Swain, will the player always take as many hits as I'm seeing here, or will he be able to make up characters much better at dodging? Eventually, we'll talk about this more another time, but eventually Corpus, you'll be able to accumulate Corpus by accomplishing missions, hitting certain levels of like your core skills will unlock different Corpus, and the number of Corpus you have won't just be 3 all the time. I think I'm leaning towards the number of core skills you have. So once you have core unarmed 1, bam, right off the bat you have 2 Corpus instead of just the starting 1. Then you take core unarmed 2, you have two extra ones, so now you're sitting at 3. Then you buy up your acrobatics to acrobatic 1, you're still at 3. Acrobatics to 2, you're still at 3. But once you hit up to like core skill 3 of any kind, then bam, now you have 4 Corpus. And eventually you'll be able to take proficiencies that will give you more. And those are just the slots that you have for Corpus. Right now it's just a default Corpus that just is health. Eventually the Corpus will give you things, like it'll make you impervious to ranged weapons, or you're faster. And that Corpus that is active, the one that is on currently, that you're currently using, that is the one that gives you those benefits. Armor will also give you Corpus that will block damage. And once that armor is broken, then the armor will either stop giving you defense entirely or give you like a very minimum amount of armor because the armor is broken.
The minimum, and then it still encumbers you for whatever it was worth.
Yeah, exactly. So it's still heavy on you. You don't just go walk fast now. Anyhow, in the interest of getting through as many of these questions as possible, because we're getting to 2 hours here.
Yeah, we'll get 2 minutes.
Just do like 3 more questions.
3 more questions? Okay. Yeah, sorry if we didn't get to them, but we're going to do more of this, especially on the actual release day. We'll do another Q&A. Dead Destroyer, rather, wants to know if, or says, I have an idea. When you execute an enemy, I've read it. I'm not going to read it out loud. Don't worry about it. But I think we're pretty much there, aren't we? Like, we're pretty much at the end.
That's the end of it.
Yeah. JJD, are you planning on making customization more like bullets? Customization like your best bullets, or customizing armor and clothes and appearance? What does it say, light or heavy? Yeah, you will be able to modify like different ammo inside of different guns based on the magazine you're using or something. Yeah,
right. That, and I want like different types of ammo. Like you got your 9mm like phosphorus rounds or some foolishness like that.
Yeah, exactly. You want to pop incendiary into the ammo that you have. That's fine.
Right.
But anywho, guys, Sean, do you have any wrap up or closing notes, or
yeah,
guys,
I do.
as we get towards the end of this? Because remember, I'm going to be putting the bug list up for you guys to see what I have to do. So you hear me say it one more time. That will be the checklist for when the alpha is done, and the list is surprisingly low of things that I need to do.
Right.
You got a long evening ahead of you. It sounds like.
I'm hyperventilating because I haven't eaten yet, except for a piece of bread over the course of 2 hours. So.
Yeah, I'm starting to get hungry.
All right, let's wrap this up then. Okay. So anyone watching?
You're welcome.
Anyone watching who doesn't know, you can get more information by either subscribing to this channel, the Project X2 Facebook page, and the Madness Combat page on Facebook.
I just subscribed
page,
right now.
The Team Madness Tumblr page. All these links will be in the description on the non-live version, if someone was to watch to the very end, which is no one.
Yeah.
Other than that, we'll probably do another live stream in about a month-ish. We'll try and get more live streams out there.
Yeah, because I'll be out of town next week, but we will be posting a link to on Pico Day, which is going to be on May 7th this year.
Yes.
Is usually April 30th, but now that Tom Fulp has a life, they don't do it on his birthday anymore, which is April 30th. May 7th, we'll be posting a link to be able to watch us. We'll be at the Newgrounds office. There's going to be a live stream. We'll be premiering the game with a lot of people. Will be playing it for the first time there too. Hopefully, some of you guys will have access to this before that. So I'm really hoping to get this done before I have to leave to go out of town for about 5 days, and then I get back for Pico Day. So we'll have a stream then as well. People will be play testing the game live. And it'll just be a thing. We'll be talking about the game there as well, but it's more of a Newgrounds related. So keep an eye out for that.
The last thing, if you did enjoy what you saw, ProjectNexus2.com, all the pre-order packs and all that good stuff is on there. So if you're interested in getting the game, all that information's up for you. Or you can wait for the full release on Steam at an undisclosed date. So, other than that. Any other things people want to say?
I think we're good to go. Yeah, I mean, thanks everybody for showing up.
Yes, absolutely. All the 100+ of you.
Yeah, I like we can talk for 45 minutes about gameplay and then jump into questions for an hour and 15 minutes, and I feel like I've been doing it for 30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
You've made this very easy, guys.
Yeah, good questions. That was actually really that was super satisfying today, and I hope it was for you guys as well. So I'm going to be getting back to you guys with the list, with the bug report list, the things that need to be done, and that way, for total transparency, you understand how long it will take before the alpha's out, and as well as that, you'll understand why it's not out at any given time. And then that's it. And then it goes to the Kickstarter backers, it goes to the PayPal backers that have backed high enough, and then of course, when the alpha's out, as you donate, if you get up to that point, if you update or upload, what am I saying? If you back to that level, we will send you a key just about right away as soon as we can. So but keep it real, guys. Thanks everybody for showing up. We hate you all too. Yeah. All right, boys. Well, we'll catch you on the flip side. We'll keep on trucking on our end, and stay tuned, because you're looking at what is basically an unpolished but finished engine. Freaking finally!
Right.
Finally. Right. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.